Okay, everybody, thank you for hanging in there. I know it took us a little time to go live, but I'm glad to be here. I'm very glad to be here with a very exciting show today, ladies and gentlemen. This is Information Man. Thank you for being here. And I have a very special guest here, and that is Brother Sanchez. He has two YouTube channels. He's got Brother Sanchez TV, Brother Sanchez Live. The brother is dynamic. I am a moderator on his channel. I go over there from time to time and listen to the brother teach. And you're always learning. You're never too old, too young, or what have you to learn. And today, I'm going to go over a variety of different topics with this brother. We're going to go over the third, fourth, and fifth dimension, that pineal gland, the third eye, flat earth, all these things, multiverse, energy, symbolisms, all the different things. How do we connect to the moon, the stars, the energy within inside of us, of our body, spirituality, consciousness? Is there such a thing as consciousness? Because there are some out there, let me look at this here. There's some that say that there is no such thing as conscious thought. That's what some philosophers believe, but I'm going to ask Brother Sanchez what is his thoughts about consciousness. We're going to talk about dark matter and how does dark matter play into our reality as black people, as people on this planet. Because if I'm not mistaken, melanin, things like dark holes, things of that nature, have components of components of melanin in it. And I'm going to ask Sanchez, Brother Sanchez, is that correct or not? We're going to go all over it. So sit back. I suggest you get a nice drink, popcorn, whatever you eat or drink, and sit back and learn something today and relax and enjoy the information that Brother Sanchez is going to be sharing with us today. And I'm looking forward to what the brother's got to say. So in the beginning of the program, I'm going to ask Brother Sanchez some very questions of his origins in terms of what got him into YouTube, where did he get his knowledge, how does he go about studying and retaining this information that he is going to put on for you today and give you a presentation. Oh, and I'm definitely going to ask him questions about metaphysics and astral projection and should we be sun gazing and all these different things. God realm. People say that the fifth dimension is the God realm. Third dimension is the physical realm that we're stuck in. We're stuck in here on the place we call Earth. Then the question is there such thing as gravity, or is it just magnetic energy that's holding us down here where we are on this planet? So I'm going to ask him a variety of those questions. And for folks that are watching, put messages in the chat room if you have questions so that I can put them on the screen. And hopefully, as best we can today, answer some of your questions. So with that said, let me bring the brother in right now. Brother Sanchez! What's up? What's up? All right, brother. Woo! I'm fine. Go ahead.
Nah, you good.
Hey, go ahead, brother.
Introduction, man. That's a powerful introduction. I want to give a salute to everybody in the chat room. We finna go on a journey today. Only thing I ask is that whatever you think you know is represented inside of this box right here. Whatever you think you know, everything you think you know is represented inside of this box right here. What you must keep in mind is that there is more to know than what's inside of this box. So if you showed up today and I told you something that you already know or that was in this box, I failed you, man. Info man, wasted your time. So if I say something you haven't heard before, it's not because it's wrong, just mean you didn't know it. Now you. So I want to just put that out there before we start. Let's open our minds and let's come here with an open mind ready to receive the information. Thank you so much, Info Man, for having me, bro.
Well, first of all, actually, I've admired you from afar because I remember the first time that I heard you speak. I believe it was O'Shea Duke Jackson, and shout out to Brother O'Shea out there. He was interviewing you, and he was talking to you about some of the debates around flat Earth, and you were saying that, hey, I pretty much give the facts, the science, I break it down, and I haven't had anybody be able to debate me on these issues, and that you are the great debater. That's the rumor. That's the facts out there, that you are a brother that you have had people try to debate you and people that have tried to run away from debating you. Yeah. And so that's how I got introduced to you when you were on his program doing his interview with you. And I have to say to you, brother, that I was a skeptic about the whole flat earth, but you said some things that made a hell of a lot of sense to me when you break down the science. And this is something that's going to be continuing to be debated, and we'll get into that today. But let's get down to the bare bones. What is the origins of Brother Sanchez? Where does he come from? How did he come from another planet? Did you land here from somewhere else? Where are you from? I know you said you're from the southern part of the country. Where did you get this knowledge? What inspired you, brother?
Well, now I didn't land here. I climbed here, but I'll tell you something though. As a child, I was always fascinated with cosmology. This is nothing new with me. Anybody that grew up with me would tell you at some point, if we in a blunt session, planets, stars, and galaxies gonna come up. You know, my thing was what made me unique was I made this kind of conversation interesting to street niggas. The crazy thing about it is I always had a question mark. You know, what's the purpose of life? What is Earth? I asked all of these fundamental questions of our reality, and it led me into flat Earth, or what I like to call ancient cosmology is a better word for it. And in the ancient cosmology, brother, all of my questions were answered. And not only were all of my questions answered, more questions came to me that I never even thought to ask. So I consider the community that I'm a part of at the forefront of being woke, because I'm going to just say this, the truth ain't popular. When you look up at flat Earth, yes, it's being attacked left and right in the media. That's because it's the truth. A little bit about myself is I've always been gifted with symbolism, even before being in the conscious community. And that's another thing. That's a little bit of my history, based upon the fact that if it wasn't for the conscious community, that wouldn't be a Brother Sanchez. So before I was a teacher, I was a satisfied student, meaning I was satisfied with being a student. I never had to be a teacher. It's just that I learned some stuff that wasn't being shared in the conscious community. As a satisfied student in the conscious community, I knew everything in the conscious community everybody else knew, so there was no need for me to be a teacher. It was teachers already teaching this same stuff we hear all the time. Ain't none of it changed. So I came along with a different perspective, because in the years of the conscious community, no one has ever taught us the ancestors' cosmology, which is that's what led me on my journey. Because I was thinking to myself, how can you connect with ancient people with a modern cosmology? The ancient spiritual system is embedded in their cosmology. So in order to understand the psyche of your ancestors, you got to deal with flat Earth, and there's no way around it. So I consider myself more connected to the ancestors than damn near everybody in the conscious community. That ain't my ego talking. That's just the fact that I reconnected with my ancestors' spiritual system. And that's So I'm gonna just stop right there, so I don't have to be too long-winded. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, let me do this before we continue on, Brother Sanchez. Let me greet some of the folks. We got Mahogany in the house, Little Rock 2517. We got Queen I Know I Am. We got Brother Tone Malone is in the house. Back to the basics. Mine Eyes. What's up, Mine Eyes? George Frazier's in the house. Beverly Pamela is in the house. Mary Jane TV. Peace to you, Mary Jane TV. Everybody in the chat room, if you are content creators, subscribe to each other. YouTube won't allow us to click the avatar, so simply take a piece of paper, write people's names down, and then you can go back and search for them in the search engine. There's a lot of great content creators in here that have come in. Everyday people's in the house. Brother D. Darrell, the therapist, is in the house, like myself. Cool to see you, brother. Golden God is in the house. And anybody I've missed, I apologize. From time to time, I'll get back to you. We got Void. 11 is in the house. Sister 11. Folks, let me just let you all know right now, if I'm not able to holler at all of you, don't take it personal, because once this brother gets to breaking stuff down, I don't want to cut in and stop the teaching. So this going to be one of them shows where you won't, I'll shout you out when I can, but it won't be as rapid, because once he gets going and we get going, we need to not stop this this knowledge coming through. We got the real Dana, who has just super chatted me. I appreciate that, real Dana.
Thank you for the super chat.
I appreciate that for the super chat. So she's in the house and many more. So I'll do the best I can, because once he gets going, I don't want to be cutting into what the brother is saying. But Brother Sanchez, I got to ask you this. What is, and if I'm getting too personal, let me know. How does your family perceive you? Do they look at you and say, man, that's our brother or our cousin? He kind of out there with that flat earth stuff. And other, do you get a little pushback from family, or do they shine you with love and love your knowledge?
To be honest, my family they treat me the same. Now the flat earth, they don't really talk to it much about it. I can kind of sense a little, probably what I would sense as embarrassment there. You know what I'm saying? It's the same kind of embarrassment when the gay son walk in the room. No one says nothing about he gay, but we still love him and shit. Now, I know that's a fucked up example to put, but it's a fucked up position to be in as a flat earther, because that's the energy they give us. That's the energy they give us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's fucking crazy. But for the most part, I've always been a nerd. So my family just know I'm diving into something that's some more nerdy shit, they would say. But yeah, it's simple. Like only thing about it is I can't talk about flat earth to my most of my family members like that. You know, they from the Bible Belt and stuff like that. Can't teach your old dog new tricks. I can't talk about flat earth to them. That's the only thing, because I would love to. Think about it. I could talk about flat earth to thousands and thousands of strangers, but I can't do it with the fam, no. So that's how that pretty much goes.
Okay. Let me say shout out to ICU for the $9 super chat. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the super chat.
And let me say something. Everybody that's come over that is a part of Brother Sanchez's movement over there on his channel, I want to say nothing but blessings and thank you for coming over and joining with the audience that follows me. This is fantastic. So I just want to give all respect to those out there. Brother Sanchez, since we're on the topic of flat earth, we kind of talked about, you kind of talked about how people perceive it. Let's get right into the issue. Let me put this on the screen for everybody to see. When we talk about flat earth, everybody, let me give y'all an example that on this thumbnail here. So this is an example. There are those who believe that the earth is actually flat. There are those that believe that the earth is oval shaped or round shaped, what have you. I know Brother Sanchez can break that down a little bit better than I can. And Tone Malone, thank you for this $10 super chat, or the $5 super chat, brother.
Thank you for the super chat.
So that's an example for all of you all out there. That's an illustrated example of what flat earth could possibly be. And we're going to let Sanchez get a little bit more into the science of that. So Brother Sanchez, take it away, brother. What is, first of all, flat earth? How did this whole movement get started?
All right, so let me first of all do something very important.
Okay, let me take this off the screen.
No, let's keep that up, because I'm going to talk about it real quick.
Okay, no problem.
So let me just say that this image right here has nothing to do with flat earth at all.
Okay.
This is not even flat earth. This is the globe earth smushed in space. Okay. And this was created by the Flat Earth Society, which is a government-owned and operated society. Mm-hmm. And this was created as a psyop to deter anyone from flat earth that wished to seek that ancient information. And how it deters them, because right off back is laughable and it makes no sense. If this was what I was introduced to when I became a flat earther, I would have never, excuse me, if this was what I was introduced to when I got into flat earth, I would have never became a flat earther. So this is not true flat earth. And if people want to see what a true conception of flat earth is, then this would be the time where I would screen share.
But Brother Sanchez, let me just put this thumbnail up here before you go to that part. What about this mapping style system here? Check this thumbnail out real quick, brother. Is that a better representation in terms of a mapping system, you know, a mapping thumbnail that I put up here? That's all.
What we're looking at here is flat earth, but this isn't a conception of flat earth. This is just a map that was made during a time where people knew the earth was flat. And the reason you see it in two circles like this is to represent the different sides of the plane. But what you can see right at the top. And another thing I wanted to point out about this as well, before I go any further, is I wouldn't use this to teach flat earth. It was a map that was used for people to get from point A to point B during the time it was made. But what we can say from this map is that they thought they were on a flat earth. A lot of people may say this is globe cosmology, but it's not. I forgot the actual word used for this style of map, but it's dividing up the flat plane into two circles. Or this is where you would say two hemispheres. But that map right there isn't showing us the true shape of the earth. It's just a map to show the world from a different perspective. It was made. There are some maps that's made to cater to altitude. There are some maps that's made to cater to wind speed. There are some maps that, you know, maps can cater to any aspect, often based upon the legend of the map. So that'll give you clues on the purpose for that one. Like I said, was made during the time where flat earth was prevalent, but it's not a picture of flat earth. It was a map made during the time. But now I can show you again, like I said, the conceptions of flat earth.
Okay, go right ahead. And anything I need to do to put it on the screen, just let me know. I'll do what's necessary.
All right, let me see here. So I should be screen sharing now. It says, let me see here. Let me just go to my folder real quick. I'm gonna be taking a minute to open up files and slides. I don't know exactly. Yeah, so, but I'll be quick as possible.
No, take your time, brother. Take your time.
All right, so in this image here, I'm gonna give you a basic conception of flat earth. There is no space when you deal with flat earth. There's no space or emptiness. So what do we look at here is a basic example of flat earth right here. And if you pay attention to this image, this is why I disagree with the little disc floating in space. What this shows you is that there's a source of power at the center of the cosmos. It also shows you the same thing you see when you cut open an onion. See, because nature has one pattern for all life, and it's a ripple effect. Life is a ripple effect. That's what we're looking at now. And the pole in the middle of this is the source of the ripple effect, just like a rock landed into an ocean. And around that rock, you get ripples. Well, the thought of creation landed into the primordial waters of Nu. And these primordial waters is what was removed, and you were given space. So let's take a minute, and let's look at space. Space is they tell you it's a dark void or a dark vacuum. Before that, it was a dark womb. It was a dark womb. Can I ask you a quick question real quick?
Okay, brother.
My brother, you know, if I started talking about giving birth what sets would we be dealing with that trait of the human, the one that gives birth and everything like that?
Well, we're looking at the female who brings life
There,
into the world, and
there we go.
the baby is birthed into a sort of a. It's just like when you have ships that are docked at the sea, at the water, birthed in a sort of in a water and type of environment. Go ahead, brother.
That's facts what you're speaking. And the reason I said that is because what do they tell you happen in the darkness of space? Galaxies are born.
Formed.
Nope, it's a key word. Born.
Born.
They tell you that every moment new stars are being born.
Wow.
New galaxies are being born. They're speaking of space as if it's a mother giving birth to these worlds.
So wait a minute, Brother Sanchez. Sir, we be looking at space in a sense, in the same way we look at a woman's womb. When we look at the fact that from a woman's womb, life is born. And like you said, stars are born out of darkness. When you are a child, you coming out of darkness into light. We see a lot of symbolism around darkness into light and enlightenment. Mm-hmm.
So I'm
with you, brother. I'm listening. Go ahead.
The thing about space is it's false. It don't exist. Nothing is floating around a void. That's why I'm showing you the image on the screen right now.
Okay.
This goes into ancient cosmology because each of these worlds were called dimensions or ethers. And each one of them is a real reality where you are partaking in that reality. We exist more than just on this plane of existence. We are multi-dimensional beings. So when you dream, you tap into other dimensions of reality. It's a whole nother world you're in. And guess what? You're in a whole nother body in the dream. So I tell people this all the time. If you die in your sleep while you're dreaming, guess what? Guess what'll happen? Nothing. You'll just dream on. You didn't even know you was asleep when you started dreaming. You forgot who the nigga was in the bed and everything.
That's true.
So you just dream on. That dream, you want to be able, nobody could walk up to you in that dream and say, bro, you dreaming. You'll laugh at them just like if they did it right now. So when we sing a song, life is but a dream. It's a simulation. The sperm went in the egg and fell asleep and then started dreaming of a lifetime. When you unplug from this world, that sperm's going to leave the egg. The sperm was originally the ghost. When you see Casper the ghost, that's the sperm. So basically, when you came to this earth, you were attracted to this earth like moths are attracted to the light or whatever. And that's what led the sperm into this simulation. But just to stick to flat earth and not to get into the cosmic journey, because that's what I'm getting into right now. Everything I'm saying is based upon life and death and ancient cosmology. It's just, I wouldn't take the credit for none of it. This is the beautiful spiritual information that come from the ancestors. What we're seeing on the screen now is the same image I just showed you with the flat earth ripple effect here. And you can see Plato's Atlantis was plagiarization of that. On the far right, you can see the Hebrew cosmos, which is the same image I'm showing you. And by the way, folks, the flat earth is, the step pyramids are monuments built to resemble the flat earth.
Brother Sanchez, let me ask you this question. I don't want to get you too far off topic, but it is still on topic. You know, we've been taught that we're all different cultures. Every different culture has their own way of life, their own new ways and four ways. But what I'm seeing and the things that I've seen in your teaching and other teachings is that it seems like all people around the world in different cultures, they're all coming to the same reality, the same head. All the symbolisms are the same. I'm looking at all these things that come from different cultures, but they all lead to the same source. Am I right or wrong?
You're so right. And even in this collage here in the top left corner, that's the Dogon altar, which was built to resemble the flat earth. And just to back up that you're right, I'll show you some more to my combative people. On the far right, you have a carving of Hathor, the cow goddess. And in that Kemetic carving, you can see the flat earth right there on the far right. This was during the time where the Kemites were matriarchal and they knew that we were on a flat earth. You can see the 4 pillars right there representing the 4 foundations of the flat earth. You can see the different ethers or what the Kemites call nethers or netters, or ethers. And to the left of that, you have the Jewish menorah, which people don't really know that represent the 7 heavens. That's why you have 7 candlesticks for the 7 different dimensions that our ancestors became aware of. And it's important that I note before I allow for interjection that I note this. The word 7 don't mean what we think, my brother. It's more than 7 heavens. It was only 7 that they illustrated. It's actually an infinite amount of ethers. But let me ask you a question. How do you draw an infinite amount of ethers on paper? See what I'm saying? You will need a sheet of paper that's the size of infinity. So the ancestors gave 7 heaven because 7 is the number for completion. Just like time is infinite, but we calculate it in increments of 7 days at a time, 7 days a week. You see what I'm saying? Wow. So the same thing on a macro level with the 7 heavens. This is also why the word 7 and the word several sounds the same. Wow. 7 literally means several. It just means completion, and infinity is completion. So, you know, it's just to the ancestors, the 7 is no different than you writing a check mark in a grocery store on something you picked up off your list. That check mark is the number 7, meaning I completed it, I grabbed it. You know what I'm saying? So it is deeper than a numerical value. Also, 7 is related to the word to sever something. To sever something is to break it in half. So we have 7 days a week, and then we break it in half into another week. And it's severed by 7, you see. So each of these heavens is a layer or a severing. There's 7 heavens, or another way to say several heavens, which are severed. They're all severed. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just allow for interjection right there, but the collage on the screen, I'll show you the flat earth all around you in different cultures, and I can do more right now too.
Well, let me ask you this question. Remember the am I saying this right? The art of the covers. Didn't the Egyptians had some type of something similar? What do you, man? The thoughts coming is shooting my mind, is cutting my mind right now. Basically, what I'm saying is, why is it, Sanchez, do you believe all these different cultures had various similar things in common when it came to these sort of spiritual, whether it be spiritual temples, spiritual artifacts, all these various different things? Why do you think they all were able to have similar similarities, even if they lived hundreds and thousands of miles from each other? Or is it that they had a sense of connecting with each other and interconnection more than we give people in those days credit? Because a lot of times we define people during that time as primitive compared to how we live our life today. But you can make an argument that we're probably the ones that are really primitive with all our technology.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you why. Basically, you're asking me in another way to ask it is, in the ancient time, why was everybody pretty much on the same page as for the cosmology, the spiritual? Yes, there was a time where everyone was connected. And the reason for that, now scientists will tell you that it's some kind of telekinetic technology. How was the people in this part of the world having the same spiritual practice and understanding of reality as the people in this part of the world before a time where scientists said the boat was invented or modes of transportation was invented, during the time where they said that you couldn't really, well, there's a theory, the Bering Strait theory, saying that people was connected through the Bering Strait, but that's a theory. That's a theory I subscribe to. But to make a long story short, The reason everyone was on the same page is so simple. It's the fact that there are many people but one truth. For example, everybody on earth wouldn't argue with me if I tell them the sky blue. People in Hindu know the sky blue, just like people in America. People in Jamaica know that the sun is yellow, and people in Canada know it. They ain't got to never meet each other to all bear testimony to that natural truth of our reality. So one of the natural truths of our reality was that we ain't moving. I don't feel myself moving or spinning like I've been taught. That's indoctrination right there. So ancestors was going by their senses, which is their sciences. In other words, your senses, once you deny them, you can't be a scientist. You can only be a believer after that, which is a religious system. So the ancestors were all on the same page because they all used their senses to come to the same conclusion that we're on a flat earth and we're enclosed. Only a little bit of thinking will tell you that you can't have a pressurized system like what we have on earth without being enclosed. Mm-hmm. And there are so many things I can point out right now about the globe that'll make it fall to pieces. You see what? But wow. I don't get ahead of myself because I know you coming with stuff like that in a minute anyway. But you brought up the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, that's right.
That's another thing that a lot of people around the earth all seem to have some sort of covenant ark or Ark of the Covenant. Now, if you can see my screen, this is a image that's associated with the Ark of the Covenant. This is kind of like the logo for it, if you will. Can you see that?
Yes, sir. I've got that on the whole screen right now for everybody to see. Yes.
If you look at the sacred geometry of this, my brother, let's simplify it, right? Let's compare it to this image. You see?
Wow. Same sort of shape. Right. Interesting.
So the Ark of the Covenant is the secret that the earth is flat and that the universe is infinite and you're in the center of it. So the thing that I wanted to point out as well is this before and then I'm gonna allow for interjection. Mm-hmm. If you look at this boat, right, the bottom part of the boat, right, you have horizontal stripes. You got dark wood for the first layer. Then the wood start to get lighter. You see how the wood is like striped in layers down there? And above that, you have a rainbow that's connected to the wood and it's striped in an arch. Now, I'm pointing out very simple things. The wood of this Ark of the Covenant is horizontally striped and the wood and the rainbow is arc striped. Now, if you were on top of this boat, you know the boat is shaped like a football. And so each layer of wood would be shaping like a football stacked on top of each other. You guys get it? You know what I'm saying? So the reason I'm saying that is when you look at this image, when you look at the bottom part, that's the ground we walk on, which is the deck of the ship.
Okay.
So you have all of these flat horizontal ripples at the base and arc ripples at the top. And that's what they're giving you for the Ark of the Covenant right here. And also the reason why they have that bird right there, I'll show you that real quick, and then we can move on from that. So the reason you see the bird right there on the ark is I'm gonna pull that up right now. These are Christians plagiarizing.
Is power.
For sure. And here is why the bird is at the top of the ark, my brother. I'm gonna blow this up for the people quick. I'm gonna show them something.
Yeah, I got it covering the whole screen, so go right ahead. This is very, very interesting, everybody. Right now we got a little bit of debate going on in the chat room with those that are questioning the flat earth, and everybody just have an open mind because this is how we learn. What we think we know may not be what we really know. So that's why we always should learn, and everybody has the right to agree or disagree, but let's just be open to a different perspective, because most of what we know is based on what they've culturally conditioned us to believe in these schools.
Right. That's a fact. What I'm showing right now is why the bird is on the top of the sacred ark. Can you see this? This is called a sacred bird of heaven right here at the top of the mountain. All right.
Sacred bird of heaven.
You see, and let me show the people who see one thing they can do, info man. They can sit up there and say dumb stuff and argue with what I'm saying, but they can't teach it. I know something they don't know. Now, just because you disagreeing with what I'm saying, don't make me wrong. It makes you ignorant as fuck. Because if I'm coming in here giving you something you don't know, you should shut up and just learn instead of open up that hole under your nose because you don't know everything. So guess what? If you ain't researched flat earth for the past 5 years like me, shut up and just learn it is what I'm saying. You can't say it's wrong if you ain't researched it. That'll make you a damn dummy. Now check this out. Excuse my language, info man. I'm sorry, my brother. I don't know if you want.
I'd rather you be authentic and truthful. You got to tell the truth. You got to tell the truth. Go ahead.
Thanks. Now, this is what I'm trying to show these guys, how they plagiarized our ancestor spiritual system. In Christianity, they gave us a dove on top of a cross. That was the symbolism they gave us. Now, let me show you something. In Mayan cosmology, what do we see? The sacred bird on top of the cross right here, flat earth. You see it? Sacred bird of heaven on top of the cross.
Sacred bird of heaven. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, and that's what they need to realize. You can say what you want, but you can't say what I just showed you ain't true. But you can't say it.
That's the same imagery that they use in Christianity, in many religions, right? So all of this is coming from we have to understand the source. Where everything that we think we know, whether it be in religion, in the world that we live in, it has a source, folks. And what Brother Sanchez is doing here is he's trying to go back to the source, the origins of where we're getting a lot of our ideas of religion, thoughts, everything. It all has a source.
You know, I can drive it home one more time, even deeper for them, because people want to know why I just came into the conscious community information, man. And I have tripled the subscribers and following that people who've been in this community for decades ain't got. And I just came into this community like a thief in a knife, garnering the attention of the masses. People think I'm so smart. It either one or two things, info man. Either I know what the fuck I'm talking about and my research is thorough and people are giving me the time of day and they're waking up, and that's why my following is growing so big. Or it could be I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just smart enough to misinform and mislead people and get money out of them. If it's the second one, that make all of my followers some damn gullible dummies. And you should think more about your people than that. And you should think less about me, that I got the amount of power to mislead hundreds of thousands of adults. So what is it they see that you don't see? And maybe that cognitive dissonance that you got need to be put aside so that you can actually learn. Now, information, man, I'm sharing an image right now. This is Dogon artwork. This is one of my favorite things to show from the Dogon. It's a small picture, but can you zoom it in a little bit for me?
Let me see. You know what? I don't think
actually
unless I actually had the picture myself, I don't think I'm going to be able to zoom it in. I don't think this gives me the capability. This doesn't operate like OBS where you can do all that magical stuff.
That's fine. That's fine. Let me ask you.
I probably should have used my OBS for this one today, but is there any way you can find another image, even if it isn't as colorful as that image? I don't think everybody in the chat room, can you look at your screen closely and see this image that Brother Sanchez has on the screen right now? Put a 1 in the chat room if you can see it, enough to be able to understand where are you going to go with this, Brother Sanchez? What do you want people to focus on?
I want you to focus on the little bitty black face in the middle of that X. You see a little face.
Yeah, I see that. It's a little. So everybody, if you can, as best you can, get your eyeballs in there. There is a little face in the middle of this image. I wish I could enlarge it bigger than that. Okay, everybody is putting a 1 in the chat room. Some folks saying that they can see it.
Hopefully,
It might be harder for people that are using their phone versus their desktops at home. But I'm seeing ones in there and some twos, so that some people can't see it.
okay.
Is there any way you could find another example of that image that may be a little bit bigger for folks to see?
You know what I can do? You know what I can do? I got another idea. I can take that image and hold on a second. I'm gonna open up Paint.
Okay, no problem.
I can actually zoom in on it in Paint, and I'll just reshare my screen. Give me 1 minute now because I just exited out of some stuff. Hold on.
Okay, no problem. While you're doing that, we'll just take a little minute break, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Sanchez.
Just let me know when you're ready, brother. Take your time.
Okay, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm about to I'm setting it up right now.
You got the story right, and now I see it.
So I'm gonna see if it'll let me share Paint with y'all. Yeah, it will. Can you see this image in Paint right now?
All right, brother. Let me take that off the screen and let's see it right here. And let
Now,
me see.
actually, I'm gonna stop. I did the wrong share. I'm gonna share my entire screen so I can flip back and forth. Okay. So,
okay. Creative Channel. Thank you for the super chat, sister.
Thank you for the super chat.
Okay, now I'm gonna put that. Oh yeah, this is excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's a hell of a lot better.
mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna show you the same symbolism and how it was plagiarized, right? So, but since I'm flipping back and forth to different screens, I'm gonna point out these things so they can stick in the third eye, and then when we switch back, they'll stand out they'll stand out. So when you see this image, you see the Dogon great mother. Her name is Amma. That is Amma. She's at what this wheel represent, what this cross represent is the four corners of the earth, the four foundations. Right now in Hindu, they got the goddess Kali with 4 arms. You know what I'm talking about? You ever saw her?
Yes, yeah. Is that the goddess of like war or death or something like that?
The goddess of life and death, and that's because all energy recycles through the North Pole. So what we're looking at in this image is the Great Mother personifying herself as the North Pole before it became Santa Claus. You know, it was the Great Mother. But that's another story. I want to stay on subject with the symbolism real quick.
Yes, sir.
In this image, we got the Great Mother surrounded by 4. But we got her head on a cross. We got her head in the middle of the cross. They turned that to Jesus on the cross. Now I'm gonna pull up another symbol right now to prove what I'm talking about, so you guys can follow with me. Can you see this collage now?
Okay, that's on the screen, fully on the screen. Everybody should be able to see that.
And
you got a picture of what we think is Jesus in the low corner side. You've got the Mecca.
Yeah. Now, see, look at here. In the top left corner, let's pay attention to that one. It's called a Dogon womb of all worlds. All worlds, people. Remember what I just showed you? The 7 heavens with all the worlds like an onion. So this is the womb of all of those worlds, what the Dogon is showing you. And the womb of of all the worlds is at the center of the earth where the compasses are pointing. So
the earth.
So if you look at, there's a little line. You know what? Let me pull another one up, because on that image, I cut out part of it. I want y'all to really see something here. Hold on. Here's the full image the Dogon gave us. It'll load in a minute. Now, right here, you can see the Dogon womb of all worlds. And you see a little line going to that hole in the middle. with Amma. You see
Yes,
it?
right in the middle. Amma right there. I see it. Everybody put it one in the chat room if you can see what he's talking about with the line to Amma. Put a one in the chat room if you can see that.
And see, it's showing you that all of the elements was born from the great mother. Earth, water, wind, and fire are the four corners of the earth. Because when we talk about corners, when we talk about the corners of the earth, remember there's no corners to something that's infinite. So we're talking about corners as in foundative aspects. What foundates physical reality? Earth, water, wind, and fire. Those are what we call the cornerstones of reality. Not necessarily that you can go look in the corner and find these different elements. It's just that they're the cornerstones of reality, if you get the terminology. Now, what I'm saying is this right here is called a womb because the great mother gave birth from that hole in the middle. And what she gave birth to was the physical creation, which is founded upon earth, water, wind, and fire, which are the arms of the creator. The creator don't got legs and arms. It got physical elements that is moving around right now to get shit done for it. These are the extensions of the creator: earth, water, wind, and fire. Now, your extensions is your left arm, right arm, your left. The creator's extensions, those things that allow it to interact with creation, are the elements. Or remember that the word El is God, the word Ment is mind. We're literally saying the mind of God is earth, water, wind, and fire. The foundation of physical creation is founded upon the thought of these elements from the source being Amma. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to allow for interjection. When you look at this sacred geometry and you compare it to Jesus' head on the cross right there in the bottom left, that's plagiarization. This is why they're telling you Jesus is able to give birth, because he replaced the great mother whose head was originally on the cross. That's why I'm showing you this Dogon image right here in paint. So what happened at the cross with Jesus? A dove landed on his cross. Look at this image and you can see the dove on the left landed on the great crossroad. That's the same dove that I just showed you, the sacred bird in Mayan cosmology. Let me see if I can pull that back up. Okay, so here it is right here. And you can see that in this image, the sacred bird of heaven is landed on that four-way cross. That sacred bird is the great mother, or what the Kemetic called Ma'at. You see, Ma'at has wings. She's a sacred bird. That's the phoenix. God, she's the original phoenix. This is pre-dynastic spirituality I'm giving you. And the reason people are going against it, my brother, information man, because they only know about dynastic spiritual system. They only glorify Kemet, the dynastic age, and things of that nature. You got to go pre-dynastic during what they call the age of the goddess to tap back into our true spiritual system like I'm doing now. That's why the stuff I'm doing has never been done before. I'm tapping back into the code and I can see the plagiarization clear as day. That's why I'm pointing you out to stuff that you can laugh at me. You can say, here, flat earther. You can say a lot of stuff, but you can't say what I'm pointing out is wrong. It's facts. It's dead in the face. Yeah.
There's nothing funny about what you're saying, brother. Anybody that laughs at this is they got to have they're not opening up their mind. There's nothing funny about this. Let me ask you this question, not to interject so soon, but you said something that caught my attention when you talked about the elements of the earth, the wind, the fire, all these different elements being part of God. If we can, from what my perspective is, that when you look at the image of Jesus, from my perspective, to me, Europeans have had a history of taking things and reformulating it into something else, stealing, just as when you read the book Stolen Legacies, and they took Greek word and Greek philosophy, all that came out of ancient Kemet. But to me, it seems like Europeans have always been, amongst many others, involved in plagiarizing and taking and rechanging something and then giving it to us as if it's truth when it may not or is not truth. Then you talked about, like I said, the elements, and I'm saying to myself, I think we as people in this world take for granted that we're having interaction with God every day that we wake up, every day that we look at the sun, every day that we enact and feel the wind blowing against our body, which allows us to breathe in the nature, allows us to breathe air, carbon dioxide. We are having an interaction with God every day of our life, but we're so caught up in our urban way of living, getting in cars, our computers, that sometimes we fail to take the time just to go outside, go to the beach, feel the earth, the air blowing against our skin. It sounds corny when I'm saying, but God is surrounding us all around us, and we don't even realize that the elements make up that reality. What do you think about what I said? That are we too far gone with our connection to technology to realize that God is all around us and we can touch him just when we go outside and get ourselves connected to nature?
And you can see him when you look in the mirror.
God damn, that's right.
See, because God is the elements and we're made out of the elements, that makes us think about it. I tell people this all the time. Without the elements, there is no physical creation. But if I wanted to build a house, I can use the elements that God provided to build with. I can use that water to quench my thirst, that air to breathe, to keep me alive. So I can't go and create water. Mm-hmm. That's man can create a lot of things with the elements, but man can't create the elements because the elements created man.
Wow. And so for those folks that will say, oh, this don't make no sense what he's saying. Well, wait a minute. If you are a Christian, don't the Bible say that God, that man was made from what? From clay, from the earth? That's an element, right? So for those of you that are Christian that are going to say this is not true, wait a minute. The Bible tells us exactly what Brother Sanchez said. The Bible tells us. It's just that the Bible, we have one form of way of looking at it, and that is, okay, we were formed from clay, and then God took a rib from man to create woman. But we are part of the elements. When we all die, Brother Sanchez, where do we go back to?
So we don't die. We don't die though. That's why the question is kind of hard to answer, because we don't die.
I brought that up because I, like yourself, don't believe that we die. I think we leave this physical body that we're in, but our spirit lives on. But that's the way I said that, because that's the way people tend to look at it. You know, that we die and that's the end of everything. But I don't believe that that's the end of everything.
So it's a misconception that your mother created your body. Your mother didn't create your body. Your mother was a cocoon for you to go in and create your own body.
Wow.
So that was an intelligence in that fetal bag forming a human body, and it had nothing to do with your mother's brain. Your mother was doing her hair, getting dressed while your body was being formed. So whose intelligence was making that body? See, your spirit used the parents like a gateway to enter here, but it didn't use the parents to make it a body for itself. So your spirit is God creating the elements, which is you, the body, you. When they say in the Bible, God came, it tell you in the Bible, when God came to the earth, God made his own body, but he used Mary to be born through, though, like a gateway. Wow. So the thing is this right here. To me, when the energy that's powering my body decides that its purpose has been served and is no longer powering my body, when we leave the body, the question is, where do we go? Now, the question is, the answer to that is wherever you want to go. You came here by your own will. I think that the image I showed you of all these different realities, each one is a classroom. Part of where you go out to here is based upon your will. And part of it is based upon a divine will and order of the universe that's there to guide you to your greatest potential. So every time we leave one body, we automatically acquire new bodies. It tell you Jesus, when you die, gives you a new body in heaven. That's in the Bible. But remember, Jesus is personifying a great mother. What happens is when we leave this body, we're sent on to another destination where we receive a new body and a new mission on another plane. It never stops.
Well,
You know,
let's get into this then, brother. I agree with you because I've heard people make these statements to say that we don't really die, but we're just simply, because time is never ending. It's circular. It's not linear, that you die, you're gone from the physical body, but you recycle yourself, meaning like for example, I'm a recycled ancestor. You just keep coming back into a whole new thought process, a whole new mindset. You don't remember that you were Brother Sanchez or myself. You're somebody else, all recycled all over again. Now, people will say, oh, no, what are you talking about reincarnation? I'm not talking about coming back as a bug or an animal, because as humans, we vibrate at a higher level than an animal or a bug or something of that nature. Brother Sanchez, do you mind to touch on that? Put us in the direction of where that goes in terms of us coming back, as you said, in another whole cycle?
Yeah, so I think people who die can reincarnate to this earth if they didn't complete the will of the soul. Okay. So if you went grocery shopping and you got a checklist and you get back home and you realize there's something ain't checked on that list, you go back to the store. Or if you went when you was in school, right?
Yes, sir.
You couldn't go to the next grade till you completed the current one, or they'll hold you back. So the universe is a school. It's a spiritual university. The only thing there is to do here is learn. No matter what it is, it's all about the creator trying to understand itself through us. So the creator is having a physical experience through it. It's trying, as the creator attempted to experience his own creation, it created these things called humans. So through each of one of us, through every sentient being, not just humans, the creator get to experience its creation. But when you get out of the body, right, you automatically tap back into that creative aspect, that God aspect. For example, before you were in the body, you was a sperm, and nobody had to teach you how to be a sperm. You knew how to be a sperm. You knew how to swim. You knew how to find an egg. No, you didn't. You knew that. When same thing gonna happen when you die, and when you're in the spirit, you already know what time it's gonna be like. Instantly tap back into another memory, because there's two different. We're multi-dimensional creatures. You have a memory that is housed in the body. That's the memory of the body being born on the earth and being created. But you have a memory before the body, and that's the journey of the spirit right there. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
so,
sir. Well, let me ask you this question then, not to cut you off, but tell me if I'm right or wrong. If you come back in reincarnation, does that mean you come back as a human or some bug or animal? Because as I was saying before, don't we, as humans, don't we vibrate at a higher frequency than an animal or a bug?
I don't think you can say different creatures can be compared in that way. All is energy, and every single conscious thing represents infinite energy. Ant. Think about this, right? Think about this. This gonna blow you away. You go to sleep and you dream, and in the dream you recreate the physical world, what they call the dream world. Your mind is a gateway.
Wow.
When you dream, You go to other worlds, and guess who create them? You do. You make the sky, you make the clouds, you make the wind pattern random, you make the grass, you make everybody in the dream with your mind. You just created a world within. Now look at how big that world is in a dream, just as big as this one. See what I'm saying? Now what I'm about to say is this. Think about an ant, right? Even a small ant can dream of this big world.
What? Wait a minute.
Right. Think about that. Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me that even something as we think is minute as an ant, and believe it, everybody, all animals, bugs, birds, they all have a role to play. They all are important in the universe, not just us humans. But what you're saying to me is that just as I dream about the affinity or the bigness of the world, you're telling me that an ant, when it goes into its slumber, has the same thought pattern. It's dreaming of a big, whatever the concept of a world is to an ant. Is that what you're trying to say here, brother?
And I'm also not only saying that, I'm telling you, because of that, we can conclude on the fact that the creator is an equal creator and not an unequal creator. That the creator gave, you may say, well, I'm bigger than an ant, I can stomp on it. But guess what? Our consciousness is the same. And the reason I'm telling you that is that's what evens the playing field out, right? Because think about this. Ants have funerals for dead ants. So the ant has a reality, and it ain't that we're dumber than the ant or smarter than the ant. It's just that each thing, excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. So yeah. So what I'm saying is my dogs dream. Every single sentient being on earth dreams and thinks. If you can think, you can dream. That's what it means to be sentient. So if an ant even know how to plan and know the best route to take when it's carrying something, it strategizes like you. Ants show affection to each other. They have emotions like you. And so it's time now to start looking at our reality different. Ants dream. And then a little bitty ant's mind is a sun, a moon, the sky. That ant dreaming that is running around its little nest picking up food, and it wake up to this realm. So all of us are our own universe, our own gateway into other worlds. Because when you die, your very death becomes a gateway for you to what they call pass over into other worlds. Sleep is a small form of death. When you go to sleep, you die, because when you start dreaming, you don't even remember the guy in the bed. The moment you start dreaming,
that's true. That's
true.
If
the moment you start dreaming, if I was to enter your dream and say, hey man, you're sleeping right now in the year 2020 in another realm, you'll bust out laughing in the dream. You will say you're crazy in your dream. See what I'm saying? So that's what life is right now. And this is micro and macro. When we go to sleep every night, it's a miniature version of what happened when we pass over or whatever. So think about what. Okay, yeah, please interject.
Look, this is what I want to do, bro. No, brother. Everybody's learning. I'm learning. I'm glad that you said what you said about us going into other worlds, because I've heard you talk about this topic. Let's get into the issue of multiverses, as I have on the thumbnail for everybody to see an example of a multiverse. I believe, because like you said, God creates life on an equal playing field. I believe that for us to believe that we're the only living intelligence, or whatever we think intelligence is, in the universe, or in this place called the birthing place of space, and life comes out of darkness into the light, it's foolish. Go ahead, brother.
I knew you would say that. Let me tell you what I think, and I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry about that.
No. Go ahead. No, ain't no sorry. Go ahead, brother.
For us to think that we're the only life on in the universe is not foolish at all. What that means is we're special. And you know, the last time I checked, ain't nothing wrong with being special.
I would agree with that.
Now I'm gonna speak to that, because you're making a good point. let me just show you something real quick, right? I'm pulling up some slides. I'm gonna bring some humor to this as well, right? I'm gonna bring humor real quick. I'm finding a picture of the universe real quick. Let me just
go right ahead. Let me say some shout outs to some folks in the chat room while you do that, brother. Okay, we've got Queen I Know I Am. We've got Tone Malone's in the house. We've got Bamboo. Peace to you, Bamboo. I believe Omega Dreads Gaming is in the house as well. Thank you for being here, brother. Mine Eyes is in the chat room. And there's probably other people that I probably have missed. Everybody that has super chatted me, I want to say thank you for the super chat. And everybody in the chat room has been great today. I hope that you're having great conversation in the chat room. I know there's people that either believe or don't believe. And we got Lady Leg 75 that's just super chatted me. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the super chat.
I definitely appreciate that. Let me just say shout out again to everybody in the chat room. Let me give a clap to all of you that are here because all of you are great people. So that's a clap to everybody in there because I appreciate you all being here today. And as I always say, everybody, information is power.
Information is power.
Most definitely.
okay.
Let me see.
Look,
And Raphael Flat Plains TV, thank you for being here, brother. You had put a message out there in the chat room earlier saying great program. Hey, I'm just here learning like all you great folks in the chat room and everybody out there that's listening. And most importantly, make sure that you all share this in your social media. Matter of fact, share it now in your social media if possible. I appreciate that. So Brother Sanchez is gonna bless us with some more slides, some more. Oh, he's put one up. Let me put it up on the screen here. There we go. Okay, brother.
now,
And, go right ahead.
the people who told you that is wrong
Okay.
for us, we have a lot of people who say, well, if you think we're the only life in the cosmos, that's kind of egotistical to think that we're the only life in the cosmos, right? Now,
Okay.
I'm screen sharing. I'm going to point something out with this, right?
Okay.
When we realize what we're looking at on the screen is our cosmos, you will realize we're not alone, because within these realities, within these ripples, within these ethers is full of life. Just say we're all living in this middle one, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not alone. We got animals, insects, germs. What make you think you're alone is remember in school information, man, when you got suspended and they made you go home, you would be at home by yourself and everybody else go to school. It'd be boring. You
separate you from everybody else. That's right.
Let me show you what happened to the earth. See, when they got rid of flat earth, y'all, we got suspended in our theology. Not in reality, in our minds. This is what they gave you. And guess what this is? Suspension in all kind of ways, because the globe is all alone, suspended from all the other students. And guess what else? It's also hanging. It ain't foundated, which means it's suspended in that way too.
Wow. So the planet. So break down. Say it again. We know suspend is to send you home, where you are separated or you are alone from the other of your other students. When we look at the earth is suspended by itself. Is that correct?
Yeah. Let me show you what the suspension means.
Okay.
See, because right now we're speaking a dual language. All right. Now let me show you something real quick.
Okay.
This is very interesting what I'm about to show.
Okay. Truth Hand Love. Thank you for the super chat, Truth Hand Love.
Thank you for the super chat.
Okay, everybody, can you see what Brother Sanchez has on the screen? Looks like he's got the solar system. Yeah. So let me show you this The reason it's called a solar system, it really translates to solar system. Remember, I was just talking about the cosmic journey. The North Pole
Right.
is magnetic, and your spirit is attracted to it upon death.
So does that mean solo, being solo by oneself?
Nah, that's dope right there. We
Okay.
definitely. All right, info man, that's what's up right there. Hell yeah. All right. Hey, so check this out, right? Check this out.
All right. We're watching. Everybody check out the screen. I think everybody should be able to see that. It's small, but it's a lot bigger than the other one you had up. So everybody, can you see that? Put a 1 in the chat room if you can see on the screen where he has an example of the solar system. And we're going to look at this very carefully and see where the brother takes us. So go right ahead, Brother Sanchez.
Now, before I even begin teaching,
Okay.
I want to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the phrase, all is connected?
I have heard the phrase before. And I interpret that phrase, meaning when we talk about everything is connected, just like native people here, I'm connected to the moon, to the sun, to the trees. Everything cannot live without everything being here. I am, brother Sanchez. I am because we are, and we are because you are. So we're all interconnected to everything on this planet. We are not disconnected from the sun, the moon. That's my personal view of it.
And so I look at what you said as straight facts, and I'm gonna piggyback by saying that we want to deal with micro and macro. Everything is connected, right? Yes. If someone dumps something in the water in Africa right now, it's gonna find its way inside of your body, even though it happened miles away from you. They can do research, detect all of the chemicals in you, and find chemicals from the other side of the plane. Now check this out. That's because everything is connected. The air you breathe circulates its way around the whole earth. The water that enters your body is connected to every body of water on earth. There's nothing separated from the system. So that's very simple. Now, with that being said, keep that in mind. All is connected. That's an ancestral view of the cosmos. I'm actually hypnotizing you right now to open up your eyes to what the phrase really means as far as cosmology. Look at the image on the screen. All is connected.
All is connected.
Each one of these ethers is connected to the next one. Each one of when you look at this image, is like onion layers. Every onion layer
you got the earth in there, and everything outside of it, they're all interconnected, leading back to a one source, right?
Yeah, it's the earth actually is the entire image itself. So what I'm saying is earth is not a planet. Earth is actually a cosmos.
Wow. Now why do you think that since we've grown up as kids and adults, that when we go to school, they always tell us it's a planet. It's a planet. Mars is a planet. Venus is a planet. Why do they make that reference and just not tell us the damn truth?
Well, I'm going to get to that. But first, that's a good question. I'm going to get to it right now. But let me just wrap this up right.
No problem.
All is connected. So when you look at this image, everything that's in the image is connected with something. There's no separation in between these worlds. And they're all connected to the center pole. Now think of an onion. All the layers of an onion is connected to the middle stalk in the middle. You see what I'm saying? We're showing that Earth is a fruit. Earth is the North Pole is a tree, and Earth is the fruit growing from the tree. So when you look at this blue pole in the middle, all of these worlds are like fruit growing off of a tree trunk. The fruit is life or reality that's grown from, and it's Mother Nature. This is what she does. The same science she used with an onion or an apple tree, she used with the cosmos. Why would she change it? Now, the reason I'm going to answer your question though. So when you look at this image, all is connected. But when you look at this image, all is separated by space.
And I've always been taught that this is just a phrase that I've learned, that you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. So so when I look at what you just stated, that's how I view what you're just saying. You judge it by everything and its interconnection to you, to the people around you, and I'm a brother that believes in the vibrational energies. Think like, for example, with all the electromagnetic or the cell phone, all these different frequencies, I believe are having a impact on us really experiencing the natural frequencies of the planet that we're on. But that's off the beacon path a little bit there. Brother, definitely, I need you to answer that question, because why are they playing games with us in school talking about a damn planet when in reality, that's not the facts? Because I've heard what you just told me. I've heard some people say that have questioned that reality. Go right ahead.
All right, now what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna stop screen sharing for a minute to give your mind a brief break from the images, and I'm gonna go back to them because I'm gonna answer this question in full detail, right?
Okay.
So before I answer the question, I want to ask everybody a question, and especially you, Info Man. Power is something that our controllers value more than anything else. True, right?
That's true. Power. That's
okay.
Right.
So
Who wills the power?
Right. So the secrets of making yourself powerful. Do you think that the powerful people in charge would give those secrets to us so that we can be powerful like them? Yes or no?
No, they would not, because it's in their benefit to keep us asleep and to keep us powerless by giving us information that leads us and keeps us asleep.
Okay. Now, with that being said, remember, guys, we're talking about power. Now, let me answer your question, Info Man. I just wanted to lead up to that. Now I'm about to screen share again. Here we go. Here is what they call Tesla coil, and it's made of copper, right? And what I'm showing you is that the earth that we live inside of, we get energy from it too. If I ask you, where do you get the energy from that's powering your body? You would say the earth. Now, stay with me, guys. What I'm telling you is earth is a huge energy generator. So why would they hide how earth look? Because they don't want you to generate energy. In other words, let me show you something. Everybody see the screen right now, right? You see how these copper coils making like a ripple effect at the bottom, and in the middle there's a pole?
Yeah.
Don't that look like this?
Exactly. That's what hey, Brother Sanchez, when you put that picture up there, I said it looked just like that picture. When you see the beam going through the middle and the copper and the way it's circling like that in that circle formation, I was saying the same thing to myself. It looks just like the rainbow image that you had up there, and the ether as you were speaking of, brother. Right. You know what's deep about this, though, Brother Sanchez? People, listen to me. They're actually putting the truth in your face, but because we've been so culturally conditioned to what they teach us in school to fool us, that which is in our face that tells us the truth, we don't even connect it with the real earth, the real world that we live in. It's right in our face half the time, and sometimes we're not aware that we're looking at the very thing that gives us answers to our universe and to our place on this planet, in this world. And they put it right in our face because they keep us pacified with all the dumbing down information so that we won't even be able to recognize the shit that's right in our face that tells us the truth.
Right.
Critical thinking is very important. Analytical thinking.
Now, I wish I had a bigger picture of these Tesla coils, but I think they can see it pretty good. When we try to find a bigger one, because I want to show
well, let me find out from the chat. Can everybody in the chat room, before he tries to find a bigger picture, can you see that the picture that he put up? Can you see that good enough, or would you like to see a bigger picture? because he's going to show you some examples of other ancient pictures that are similar to those images. And there he is. He's putting some things on the screen there. Put a 1 in the chat room if you were able to make out what the brother had. Now there's one right there. That's a good one right there, Brother Sanchez.
This is a real good one. Oh, it shrunk.
Oh, he won't. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think they can see it better when you have it completely on the screen with the other ones. Put that one back up there.
I got you.
Yeah, that one could be seen a lot better than when you try to click the actual main one itself.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Go back to for whatever reason you could see it a lot better. Yeah. People can see that a lot better than when you did before. Okay. So everybody, if you can see that image to the right side, put a 1 in the chat room so that we know that you can actually see it just fine. And okay. Right on. He found one. Ladies and gentlemen, he found one. Fantastic.
Now listen, this is one of the most reliable ways to generate energy. Now, I'm not here to teach a lesson on Nikola Tesla's discoveries. What I'm here to do is just point out a basic energy generator. When I say basic, this style of generator is like one of the main things, the first things you learn when you get into electromagnetism. Now, what I want to show y'all, though, is the sacred geometry. We're not going to become electricians tomorrow, and you're not going to go and become Nikola Tesla tomorrow. You can do it, but what I'm trying to do is lay the foundation for you to grasp the whole concept of your reality. So take a look at this image. And we're looking at it. Wow. Want to look at is the sacred geometry now. So around the base of this pole, we see our copper coils that connects to the pole. The energy flows through each of the rings, and the pole is the transmitter. Now, this is the exact thing we call a North Pole, brother. And each of these rings are a world. Now, what I'm about to show you is the Hindu cosmos. Look on the right, everybody. Look
Hindu's
on the right.
Cosmo, everybody.
Look on the right, my brother. You see this ripple effect with the pole coming up the middle?
It's the same goddamn image, Sanchez.
It's
the same image.
Our ancestors was dealing with science, and this science literally empowered us because this thing generates energy. And a powerful person is powerful because they're able to generate energy.
Now stop right there. Stop right there. The image that you have on the screen to the left, the Hindu, that's been around for God knows how many, thousands of years, right?
That's pre-dynastic.
Pre-dynastic. And so check this out. When you talk about us being all interconnected and everything, check this out. Who would have thought that we look at people from the past as being that we're so advanced as a race, as a group, as a country, as a society, and that people in the past were primitive, but yet they were constructing these things and putting images up way before we even got to it in the 21st century and 20th century. Is that right or not?
In other words, what we're looking at, my brother, you're spot on. What we're looking at is Tesla technology in pre-dynastic time.
God damn. God damn.
This is how they want you to think your ancestors were dummies. And we go all the way back to pre-dynastic time, and they was dealing with Tesla concepts. Actually, Tesla was a flat earther, so Tesla actually was learning it from the ancients.
So basically he borrowed or stole or just learned and took those concepts and put it into his reality. And then everybody today in the 20th century or 21st century that we're in, people, when they look at that, when they look at that technology that you just showed earlier, they're going to assume, oh, this is something that we created today, or Tesla is the father of this. But no, he's not. Tesla got his ideas from a more ancient people in society. He borrowed, stole, or what have you.
Tesla was a shaman.
Okay.
And in shamanism, they actually still teach the true cosmology. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we tap into it.
Okay. So that's how he originally was able to tap into that. Very interesting, Brother Sanchez.
Yeah, so that's very eye-opening that just answers your question. Why won't they show us the shape of the earth? Where they'll be giving us all of their patents, man. Earth is
Right.
huge energy generator. So by reverse engineering the cosmology, you literally empower yourself. So when they dumb people down, they stop teaching them flat Earth. And you think you got smarter when they introduced the globe, but we actually got dumber. That's why you pay a light bill, but our ancestors didn't.
You know what's crazy though, that you say what you're saying right now, because I've been scratching my head for a number of years, not to get too far off the subject, but it's kind of in the same area. I've always scratched my head around the fact that they never show us the dark side of the moon, or whatever our perception of what that is. They never show us what's on the other side of the moon. And I know there's people out there who believe that that they never really traveled to the moon, that was all a hoax that they played on the people. I don't know how much you buy into that or not, but I find it interesting that they don't never show us other parts of the moon.
The thing about the sun, the sun and the moon are not physical objects.
Okay.
They're
physical objects.
They're non-physical objects. You can't
physical objects.
You can't land on light.
Damn.
So the sun and moon are holographic projections. And to prove my point, this is what I'm gonna do. See, I'm glad I'm here today on your channel because I got people who I know the majority of your people are thinkers. So I'm gonna screen share one more time here, and then I'm gonna briefly touch on the moon, and I ain't gonna be long-winded about this because I got something I can do right now that's so simple, it won't take but 1 minute. Now here we go. Let me screen share this. The moon is not a rock. It's a translucent hologram being projected into the sky. And I'm gonna prove it right now.
Wait a minute. Say that again. That is a profound look. You're gonna have some people that's gonna want to debate you on that. You said that the moon is just a projection, but not a rock, not a solid rock.
Exactly. And I can prove it to you. Anybody with common sense, after I point out what I'm about to point out to them right now, they're gonna agree with me. Now give me a minute to show you what I'm talking about, brother.
No problem. Let's give them a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
I
How's
got
everybody doing in the chat room right now? We got Doo Brown. That's a hell of a name. We got Water Sniper 2 that's coming in the house. Uncle Franks is in the house. Lady Leg 75. Sir Drop TV. What's up, brother? Peace to you. I'm glad you're over here. Melissa's in the house. She says, information, your energy is incredible. Hey, I'm just trying to learn like all the rest of you. Nasha Q's in the house. Mine Eyes. And man, fantastic folks. Raphael Flat Plane Plan TV. And Brother Aduvian is just coming to the house. I'm so glad that you were here, Brother Aduvian. Come on in. Some of you are going to have to watch this video over and over again to really absorb the concepts more and more. I know I'm gonna watch this over and over again to pick up on more of the knowledge. So, Brother Sanchez, let me know whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. So how can I prove that the moon is a translucent object that's being projected into the sky?
Translucent object. Interesting.
It's a luminary, just like the ancestors called it. And this is what I'm gonna do now. If you look at this image, we're gonna practice the first step of the scientific method, which is observation. Now check this out. What do we observe in this image? I'm gonna tell you what you can observe. What I observe is that I can see the blue sky behind the moon during the daytime. And I can also see the black sky behind the moon during the nighttime. Are you copying this?
Right.
So this moon is translucent. We're looking at the sky through the moon, and we can see the blue sky behind the moon at day, and you can see is the black sky behind it at night. So it's a translucent object.
You're absolutely right. I've always been tripped out, even from the time I was a kid, when I would be in a car driving with family, and I would look at the moon, and I could see it clear as day during the daytime. And another thing that always fascinated me was how everywhere, when I was a kid, everywhere we go, there was the moon right there. It was like, I thought it was following me almost, right? And then every year they talk about the blood moon, or when it turns red, or when there's a solar eclipse and all of that kind of stuff. And you're saying that it's translucent. It's not solid, but it wow. It's a lot to take in.
People even got pictures of seeing stars through the moon. Let me show you. Stars seen through the moon. The video is actually better than the pictures, but for the sake of time, I'll just show the pictures if they're up here, because they removing a lot of stuff. They're censoring flat earth. So let me see if I can pull this up.
Definitely. They've been doing that for a minute now.
So there is a video, and they probably don't have the images. Yeah, they've been taking all of these videos off. But actually, I got the video on my channel. You probably can find it on YouTube, people. YouTube, you know what? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because even though I already proved my point with the blue sky and black sky, I want to drive it home with the stars seen through the moon. That's one of the videos they removed, man. Now I could go to my channel and I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll take a little while longer. So I'm gonna just tell people.
Well, what you could do, Brother Sanchez, is make every ref. We're gonna just to let everybody know. Hang on for a moment, brother. I have Brother Sanchez. Oh, you got something up? Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna tell folks that I got the link to your channel in the description of this video, so that if you go down, if you scroll down, you can get his link directly to his channel to subscribe and follow him over there, and also get more of this information. But he's got a video here, folks. So let's go ahead and watch this. This is interesting.
So in this video here, I don't know if there's commentary. Let me hit play and see. So
go through them.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let him talk because he can explain it better than me. This is the video I'm looking for. So this dude using his telescope to look at the moon, and what he noticed is you can see stars directly through the moon, which proves what me and the ancestors are teaching, that the moon is a luminary. Now, I'm just going to hit play and let him do the talking.
Okay.
You notice in the pictures, stars show through the dark portions of the moon. And as I go through them, I'll blow them up a little larger so you can see these stars. I'll point to one. There's a blue star here, a white star. There's another star right here that shows up quite good. And that's that picture. Move on to the next one. You can actually see the stars here. Now we'll zoom in and we'll see a red star with a white star right in here. And then there's 3 stars, a white star, a blue star, and another blue star. And there's a white star pretty much over here.
So when he zoomed in to the dark part of the moon, which is now the moon's supposed to be a solid rock, and the dark part supposed to be the shade it have. But what we've noticed, if the moon was a solid rock, guess what? You will not be able to see stars through a solid object.
Right. Damn.
And to the people that want to see, because let me show you some reflection on a ball, moon and sunlight. Let me do something. I know we got a lot of globalists out there, my brother, who like to say like, well, the moon is reflecting the sunlight, and it's a gray rock that's reflecting the light of the sun. First of all, a gray rock wouldn't reflect sunlight. A metal rock would, an aluminum rock would, a gray rock. Go get a doggone flashlight and shine it on a rock on the ground and see, does that rock reflect? Furthermore, this is how reflection would look on a spear, guys, it wouldn't look like the moon. This is simple. You can do this at home. Get a beach ball, get a flashlight for the sun. You'll see how reflection look on the surface of a spear that would be a solid spherical moon. Reflection on a ball looks just like we see in these images, not like the moon, yo. So, you know, the moon is, we're not being taught the truth about not only what the moon is, but what the sun is, what the earth is, what the North Pole is, and even more what we are, what the earth is.
Wow. And once again, it goes back to what you said earlier, that why would you want to empower people and give them the truth? And another thing I want to say to you, brother, that if you were to tell people the truth about the world that we live in, would it or would it not make people question their belief in certain religions?
The truth replaces beliefs like pouring the water out. Like, let me show you some info, man. Let me say this slow.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this cup of water right here.
All right, let me enlarge your screen while you do this, brother. Hang on for 1 minute. There we go. There you go. Let's do it.
When I pour all the water out of this cup, it's not empty. It's just full of air now. Okay. The air replaces the water. You see what I'm saying? So likewise, once you get the truth, it automatically replaces the belief.
Wow.
If you believe 2 + 2 is 5, when I show you how it's 4 with the truth, ain't no way I can convince you it's 5 after that. You can't undo revelation. You can't undo that. So by you even accepting the truth, you automatically destroyed the lie of belief. So the belief is the truth that lies beneath the programming. Belief. All right. So the thing is, the root word of belief is lie. The first word is be. So that's what I'm saying. Is basically, what is a belief? A belief is a truth hidden by indoctrination, or a truth lying beneath indoctrination. That's why we say, give me the naked truth, because when you put clothes on the truth, then the truth gonna always lie beneath that damn outfit you put on top of it, called a lie, indoctrination. You cannot destroy the truth. You can only hide it by putting something on top of it. When you realize that the truth is the foundation of all their lies, once you get the truth, you can see the lies clearly.
And would it be true that truth, or something that's a fact, is backed up by what they say in science, in empirical evidence, something that can be tested against reality, whereas belief is more about how you feel about something, that you have this internal sense that, for example, that God exists, because you feel that God exists, because you've also been indoctrinated that God, or that there is a spirit world there's so you're taught these things based on your emotions in connection to religion and things that you've been taught. But then there's empirical evidence that's backed up by science, and that which is reality, that is facts that you can feel and see.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was long-worded with that, but go ahead, brother.
When you talk about feel and see, you're dealing with the senses. The word science come from sense. It's all about observation. You can't observe without your senses. A blind man can't do the research you can do to come to the truth. So he will have to use another sense, maybe feel, to replace his eyes. If you got all of your senses, you got everything you need to think for yourself and define reality for yourself. And when you don't do that, you forfeit your right to define what is and isn't. And a mind is a terrible thing to waste. So when you don't use your mind, you become part of a belief system, because it don't take no thought to believe. Anybody can believe, but not everybody can critically think. So any system of beliefs is religion and theology. The science that teaches you space is not fact. It's based upon theory. A theory in science is no different than a theological idea in religion. So let me show you the parallels real quick, info man. When I point this out, the hairs on their skin gonna stand up. Now check this out. Christians believe that a man came to earth, went up into heaven on the cross, and then came back to earth with some divine knowledge that he brought from heaven to help the masses. His name was Jesus. Now, Christians believe that, but you know what a globalist believe? A globalist believe that a man left earth, he landed on the moon and went outside the earth as an astronaut and came back to earth with the knowledge of the universe that you didn't know. Same thing Jesus was claiming to have. At the end of the day, you can believe that astronaut, you can believe the space program all you want, but don't get mad at me for pointing out that you don't know nothing. You just part of another belief system. Science ain't a matter of belief. It's a matter of fact. So
it's facts that can be backed up by empirical evidence and tested against reality.
Yeah. See, because think about this, right? Jesus, some people believe that a man walked on water. Some people believe that water can hold the shape of a perfect spear suspended in nothingness.
Wow. Let me, if I could, there was a question by brother Uncle Frank, who's one of the folks that follow my channel. He says, this is the question. If the earth is flat, how does the sun the same stay size and set over the horizon? If I understand what he's saying, if it was flat, it would not set over the horizon. That's what Uncle Frank has said. And shout out to you, Uncle Frank. We're all learning here, brother. So it's no criticism of your question. We're all learning here. So that's his question, brother.
I want to pull up slides for him.
Okay.
See, I never know what size to pull until you guys come with your awesome questions. So just bear with me. I'm gonna pull up some slides.
Okay. Well, let me say what's up to some folks. We got Uncle Frank's in the house. We got Rose in the house. Doo Brown. We got Q1 Barcode Show. Thank you for being here, brother Duvian. We got Ellen S in the house. We got brother Drop TV's in the house again. Mrs. Marquise Hill in the house. Mine Eyes. Michael Action is in the house. And everybody, if you have not subscribed to the Information Man Show, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and subscribe to the program.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
And as a reminder to everybody, I put a link for Brother Sanchez's program. Now, he has two shows. He has the Brother Sanchez TV. He's got Brother Sanchez Live. But go and subscribe to his channel. I got a link in the description of this video. And hell, I'll go ahead and put a link in the chat room as well. How about let me put one of the mods at work. One of the mods, go ahead and put Brother Sanchez, either one of his channels, in the chat room. Put his link in the chat room. If you could do that for me, I appreciate that. And also, you will be able to find it on the description of the video. So let me stop right there. Brother Sanchez, let me know whenever you are ready to present this evidence.
All right, I am ready. But hold on.
No problem. Take your time. We're not in a rush.
Okay.
No rush.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna screen share. Hold on. Am I screen share now? Oh no, let me screen.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, brother.
All right, we should be screen sharing now. So just for the sake of clarity, can you reread his question? I heard him good and I know what he said, but I want the people to get refreshing on the question.
All right, let me see if I could find his question. Here, let me see. Let me see.
If not, it's fine.
I think I can find it. Just give me one moment here. I'm trying to find it. It was a damn. I think basically he's saying, how is the sun able to, I guess, shine over the horizon or what have you if the earth is flat? I think was his question. If not, brother, Uncle Franks, you can put that question back in the chat room again. I'm trying to find that question, but I think that's where he was going. Let me just look up here. God, how did it disappear? Had it and then it's gone. It's weird how that works. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, brother. I got it right here. There we go. He says, if the earth is flat, how does the sun stay same the stand size and set over the horizon? If it was flat, it would not set over the horizon. So how would the sun stay and set over the horizon if the earth was flat?
Okay, good question. First of all, let me deal with one thing. A question I would ask him is, how is it called a horizon based on the word horizontal if it's a curve? If it ever curve, it'll be a curvizing. The moment it bend, you can't call it a horizon no more. It ain't horizontal no more.
Wow.
So now let's get that established first. Another thing you said that was wrong is that the sun don't change size. That debunks the globe Earth, because a sun 93 million miles away, you would not see its changing size in the sky, because it's 93 million miles away. You wouldn't detect the change in size as the earth go around it. But the sun is small and local and doing a local path above our flat earth, like the ancestor said, we would change size as it go near the horizon. The sun would start to shrink and get smaller. Now, if we look up at the sun and notice that the sun is getting smaller as it go toward the horizon, that proves flat earth and it debunks the globe. The image that I'm showing on the screen right now is flat earth, because we actually go outside and observe, and we do time-lapse images of the sun at this time and that time. Now, he's a globalist, but I don't think he got a collage like this that can show me the sun staying the same size at 12 o'clock above my head. Because I don't know if you ever been outside at 12 o'clock. That's the brightest thing in the sky. And you can feel the heat right above your head cooking you, especially in Vegas.
Wow.
Now, as that sun move away from me, it does get smaller, just like this image show, which proves a flat earth and a local sun that isn't far away. And just to drive this even home even more, my brother Info Man, look at these images. In these images, you got clouds in front of the sun and behind the sun. The question is, are these clouds 93 million miles away?
So if the sun is 93 million miles away, how are the clouds behind it? Wow. Damn. And we can see these damn clouds. So is it our perception? Would you say our perception, our ability to perceive what we're really looking at? Is that the problem, that we have not been able to? One can make an argument that we're not using our eyes, Brother Sanchez, that we don't know how to use our eyes, our sight, our three senses properly.
But check it out though. When we came up learning about nature, we weren't in nature. We were in a classroom looking in a book instead of looking at. Thank you.
Damn it, you're so right. Damn it.
That's indoctrination right there. When you open the book, you close. You open that book and you closed your mind, just like with the Bible. So check this out, Info Man. Let me show you what the Hebrew said. Can you see this image, my good brother?
Yes, I can.
Tell the truth.
You see what a cloud is? Ain't they on the same height level as the sun in this Hebrew cosmos?
Yes, but I tell you from my personal experience, man, over the years, when I've gone out and I look at the clouds, I feel like the clouds are not that far away, even though they tell me and you, oh, it's thousands of miles. I feel like sometimes the clouds are very close to me. That's my perception. That I feel like, wow, it's not that far. And I think maybe because some of us brother, some of us have better perception. Some of us are more in tune with our world and the nature around us. And if we get more in tune, we might find out we're more connected to this, to the universe more than we think. Now, they tell us on TV, oh, the universe is thousands of miles away from you. Humans can never be a part of the universe. That's not true.
Yeah.
We are the goddamn universe.
They want to give us, that's called divide and conquer. They divided the entire cosmology up. Like, that's why I'm showing you the ancient, for example, before I even go any further. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. So we're talking about the sun, just to answer that brother question. Here are some pilots right here, and they're actually looking down at the sun, not up at it. Look, they're flying above the sun. Let me ask you something, man. You would never be able to look down at a sun that's 93 million miles away. Unless you 93 million miles away and you above it looking down at it.
Would that be let me ask you this question then. If this is where you're going, would that be possible only in a flat earth?
This is only possible with flat earth, and I'm gonna drive it home even more. If you look at the sun right here, you can see it's right in the clouds. Look at there. It's like right in the clouds right here. You see that? Beautiful. Right. It's right in the clouds. Now, I want you to keep that in mind, right? Now, let's go to the Hebrew cosmos. I want you to just bear with me, guys. Look at that.
Bear with them. Take it in, step it away, a step at a time, folks.
Now, we just saw the sun within the clouds, meaning that the sun was on the same level as the clouds. Look at this Hebrew cosmos. They got the sun on the same height level as the clouds. So the Hebrews observed just what we're watching right here. The Hebrews knew that the sun was close. In fact, you can feel the warmth of the sun move away from you as the night comes. It get a little cooler. So
well, let me ask you this. This is the let me just say it, and this is all due respect to people out there, but this is the goofy question that most people ask you. I'm sure you've been asked this question 1,000 times, Brother Sanchez. Well, if the earth is flat, why is it that we haven't fallen off the earth? Why is it that when I drive in my car, I don't come to the end of the earth and fall off? You know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff that people say, you know?
Damn right. Damn right. Like, you know what's crazy is, I think the question, and I'm gonna stop screen share, and I want y'all to see my face because you need to ask yourself.
Let me enlarge your screen.
But check this out, guys. Think about this, right? You saw the pictures of flat earth that I showed. We're basically enclosed in you can say a snow globe, if you will, right? We're enclosed. The edge of the flat earth isn't an edge. It's another reality. Like when two oceans meet. Oh, you know what? That'll be a good image to show. I'm actually on screen share right now to drive.
Go right ahead. Because at some point in time, Brother Sanchez, when we get off this topic, I have a few more topics I want you to briefly speak on, if you still have the time. But let me share what you put on the screen there. Boom, there we go.
So we see this happening, my brother Info Man, where different color ocean water meet up. And like, for example, you got the light blue ocean water on the left, and you got the dark, icy waters of the Arctic combining with the tropical blue waters right here on the left. Now, the reason these waters are different colors is because they have different kind of bacteria in each of these. Put it this way. If you go under the water and look at where that line is, it'll be a invisible barrier that separates life forms information, man. Meaning that the life forms that live on the dark blue side can't swim over to the light blue side because that water ain't Each animal or fish has its own water it is used to. So this whole dark blue color represent a whole set of fish creatures that don't even exist across that line on the other side, and vice versa. So they can look at each other face to face, but they can't cross over into each other worlds. Now, the reason I'm showing you this example, because this is the same concept of the primordial waters of Nu and what separate our reality from other realities. And I'll give you a demonstration right now. Wait for it. It's only going to take 1 second. So here it is, right?
Take your time, brother. Take your time.
Okay, so here, I keep showing y'all this because it's very important. The primordial waters of Nu, right, are different kinds of waters. Like the word aether with a W in front of it become water. Take the W out. Aether, water. So the ethers were personified as waters. So what I'm saying is not liquid water. It's magnetic energy fields, vibrational energy fields. Each one is a different vibration, a different level of vibration than the previous one. So they're divided up like how we divide up the luminosity of light. If you look at light luminosity, from the source of the light, it's the brightest, but as it expands, the light get dimmer and dimmer. So that's what we're looking at here. The most dense worlds are the smaller ones. Those big ones around the edge are light realms. Just like they tell you in the solar system, the outer planets are bigger, but they're gas for real. They're hollow. They stole that from flat Earth. But what I'm showing you here is this right here. Where each world meet, there's a different being. Same human, different vibration. In other words, these are the different ethers we live on. It's multidimensional. So it'll be like looking at these two oceans, and the only way you can get to the other side is by shifting your consciousness to the you that's already over there. Now, I know this may be confusing, but check out what I'm saying.
Okay.
When you start dreaming, you don't take the body that's in the bed to the dream. You already got a body in that dream world. And when you start dreaming, you're often in the middle of the dream, like you press and play in the middle of a movie. You washing dishes or in the middle of some wet dream sets or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's because you never dream of being born in the dream. It's because when you were born in this world, you were also born in all of the ethereal worlds as well. You had more than one birth. So you have more than one reality that's being living out. The other versions of the self is moving around on autopilot, making the same choices you would make as if it is you. But you're not conscious of that. That's mean that you don't become conscious to that alternate reality till you go into the dream state. Each dream is another world where you're running a whole nother simulation of probabilities, because when you were born, there were an infinite amount of probabilities for every action and everything concerning you. The universe had to create alternate realities that act out those probabilities so that she can maintain her infinite status. Because infinity says that everything that there is represented by infinity. And with that being said, there cannot be any possibilities for something that isn't. So the universe have to cancel out all laws of probability, meaning if it can probably happen, it has to happen. Otherwise, the universe will be defied.
Now, let me read this. Doodoo Brown, that's powerful, brother Sanchez. Doodoo Brown says that the earth is overall round. It is a round sphere. You won't fall off the end because there is no end. There is just another part of the sphere. Gravity keeps us grounded on all sides of the sphere. Now that's what Doodoo Brown said. Hell of a name he's got, by the way. What do you That's what he just said a few minutes ago.
Yeah, a dude named a person that named himself Doodoo Brown can't do nothing but tell you a bunch of stuff you already heard before, just like you did. I'm up here telling you things you never heard before that's giving you aha moments and connecting you back with the true self because I'm giving you the truth. He's just reinforcing indoctrination. He's acting as if I didn't go to school and learn about the globe too. I see what I'm saying? When you show up to tell us stuff we already know, you're doing us a disservice. I can do what you're doing. I could have came up here and re-taught the globe, but I know y'all already learned that, and I went to school too. I'm telling you our ancestors' cosmology, hence the term ancient cosmology, not modern cosmology. I don't feel comfortable even going back and forth with a dude named Doodoo Brown. Doodoo Brown, serious.
Well, he said that's just his YouTube name. So, you know, everybody, look. I think the reason why it's hard for people to deal with these concepts is because we've been so culturally conditioned by, in my opinion, by Eurocentric science that has taught us to think a certain way. When you go to school, you're basically being trained. Are you really being educated, or are you just being trained? Okay, trained is a difference. We think that we're being educated when we're just mimicking and regurgitating some stats and history that they shove down our throat and condition us to believe in things that are not really reality, because just as Brother Sanchez said, and I believe this too, they don't want to wake us up with truth. You think they want to empower us, this society that we live in, this world, with the truth and what that would do to us? That would free us from being dependent on this world that we believe that we need and that we live in. Mm-hmm. Brother Sanchez, let's move on to another topic, if you don't mind.
Say one thing.
Go ahead.
Only 1 second. In the Bible, when they talk about the waters being separated from the waters, that's why I'm showing you this image. These are two different kind of waters separated from the waters. These worlds are separated because you exist in each world. So you can't take this body to the other world. And I'm going to be real brief info, man.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's called passing.
Let me enlarge the screen right here. Go ahead.
So you exist in this center earth right here. But it's like being born into a mirror house. If you walk inside of the mirror house, you exist on every one of the mirrors in the house. You're reflected in the whole thing. You're reflected throughout the multiverse from the center location. Each of these things are reflective barriers projecting you into another reality from the center one. So when you dream, you go to these other realities that's around the center one, and you come back to this one where you're anchored at. Now check this out. Sleeping is slipping into other bodies. It's your consciousness slipping out of this body into your ethereal body. Which ethereal body? Either one of them. That's why it's called a ethereal body. Either you have many bodies, and your consciousness can be in ether one. This is associated with the ethers, the others. The ethers are the others. Other is ether. And this is what I'm saying. The movie Us show you what I'm talking about. The movie Us show you what would happen if one of your ethereal bodies came to this world. You would be occupying the same. Put it this way. You can dream that you 10 years old, info man, and you can go back in time. But you can't take this body to the 10-year-old dream because it's already 35. It ain't 10. How can the 35-year-old me stand in the same ethereal realm as the me when I was 10? That is a world where I truly exist in as a 10-year-old. So what I'm telling you is this is all tapping into why they said the Mayan were time travelers, because the Mayan were keeping time. The Mayan would meditate into a dream state consciously. They would look at the time and the date in the dream, info man, and they would come back here and they would come back here and write it down. So they traveled to all of the different ethers, tracking the dates and time on the ether worlds, the other worlds. That's how they became time travelers. That's why the Mayan calendar got a long count, short count, because it's dealing with the long circles and short circles on this image. They're tracking the time in each one. Time is slower on the outer ones. So the past and the future is tied together with this cosmology. That's why we say time is a cycle, not a loop. We say history repeats itself like a lap, like a race. And we start where we finish at all the time. And time is think about time, a circle into a knot. It can be give you a shoestring, you can stretch it out to a line, but that ain't time. Time is when you tie up the two ends of it and make it a circle. The two ends that you're tying is called past and future. That's why Info Man, today we dealing with Tesla technology, we thinking green and we talking free energy. But guess what? I just showed you that this is Hindu cosmology coming back to fruition, the history repeating itself.
Okay. There's a brother. Let me ask you this question. Damn it. I hope Water Sniper. Damn, he had a good question. Let me oh, there it is right here. Brother Water Sniper said, Information Man show asked Brother Sanchez to explain the constant flow of the body of water since the earth is flat.
Crazy stuff. Like, okay, let me go ahead and answer that, man. All right, I'm gonna do this real quick. Because the question should be in reverse. Explain the constant flow of water if the earth is a globe. All right. A globe, let me explain it. If it's flat, then I'm going to show you how it don't make sense on a globe.
Okay.
Now I'm going to have to screen share again. I'm sorry.
No problem, man. We're
now this
trying to learn here. Go ahead.
This is really going to be a small image, but we got to work with it because this is the only one that they got, and I really needed to teach. So whatever y'all got to do to blow this up, blow it up, because here's the science behind flat earth. I know that's kind of small, but you can still make it out a bit, can't you?
Yeah, I think everybody can see that. I can see it on my screens. I think everybody can. I hope everybody can. If you can at least see it, put a 1 in the chat room, folks. And wait a minute, before you go on with the presentation, let me give some respect. Someone just super chatted me. Omar Little has super chatted me. He says, I love Brother Sanchez teachings and continue teaching, brother. I will be learning infinitely, he says. And thank you for the super chat, brother.
Thank you for the super chat.
Okay, Brother Sanchez, go ahead.
Let me say thank you to everybody supporting my brother's Info Man show. We really appreciate that. And the image that we're looking at now is the flat earth terrarium. It's the first layer. Of course, we just showed you there are many layers within layers. All are recycling the elements from the North Pole. Now, earlier I showed you the Dogon womb of all worlds, and it had the great mother at the middle with the elements. This is what she is. She's the one that's they call her a witch stirring up the pot. So life is a smoothie, and if it's not constantly stirred, the things inside of the cup will settle. Now let me walk slow with you. If I take sand and I put it in a glass of water, the sand will fall to the bottom and make a layer. But as long as I stir that cup up, it'll be blended evenly throughout the water, as long as I keep stirring. So the physical elements are sitting within a cup of water. That's called the primordial waters of Nut. That's what we're looking at right now in the Hebrew cosmos. All of the elements are sitting within this waters above, waters below. But that ain't liquid water. That's magnetism. Magnetism is the strongest energy on Earth. A magnetic variable, a magnetic barrier can crush your bones in a split second. That's think about it. They use magnets to pick up cars, man.
Yes, sir.
So you got the strongest magnets on Earth. If I put you in between two of them big bad boys, when they clamp together, you will be flatter than a sheet of paper.
Oh man, that's
so the vibrational energy field that magnets that big give off is like you trying to crank up a subwoofer the size of Texas. Hold on, everybody. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Let me I got somebody at the door. My bad.
All right, why Brother Sanchez is at the door. I'm gonna play a little music. I appreciate everybody. I see Lowcast is in the house. Peace to you, brother Lowcast, brother Aduvian. 6 Figures Days is in the house. We got Bruce in the house. Water Sniper too. I appreciate you all being in the house today. Let me play a little bit of Sanchez's brother Sanchez's introduction on music. I appreciate you all being here.
Bro Sanchez, just one who's out there in the fight to teach. Bro Sanchez, you got the story right, and now I see, yeah.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Information Man
Tell
Show.
the truth. Tell the truth.
Do you want truth?
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I believe Brother Sanchez is back now, folks. Once again, I want to thank everybody in the chat room that's come into today's program. I'm asking everybody to have an open mind, and because this is a lot of information to take in. It's going to challenge how you see yourself in the universe, in this world, this society. It's going to challenge everything that you've been taught, but you've got to have an open mind, take in the information, do your research. But I've checked Sanchez out for a long time, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt that the brother, he brings real information, real knowledge to open up one's mind. And this just challenges everything that you've been taught. And I believe it's because we've been taught false information to lead us down the wrong path. So let's go back to Brother Sanchez. He has something on the screen. Let me unleash the screen here and let the brother go on. Thank you, everybody out there. And peace to you all in the chat room. And I think Aaron Collins just super chatted me. Thank you, brother, for the super chat. Here we go.
Thank you for the super chat.
Okay, excuse me there, everybody. Okay, Brother Sanchez, take it away.
All right. So thank you once again, Information Man. This is a very, good bill, man. And the energy is just on point. I appreciate you. Now,
No problem.
Just to finish answering that, brother, how does there a constant flow of water on a flat earth? Easy. The North Pole is a ethereal pole that recycles the physical elements. Let me break it down for you. Everything come in and out of the physical reality. Every drip of water that you drink isn't a new drip. It's a cleansed drip. What I mean is the middle of the earth is like a wash machine, and it constantly recycles the elements. Every time you exhale, that air is recycled at the North Pole. Everything is flowing into it like water down a kitchen sink. And what happens to the water when it go down a kitchen sink? It go to the treatment plant to be cleaned and used again. So the earth is a energy field that is self-contained and self-sustained by itself based upon this image that I'm showing you now. So lately I've been showing you this image of the flat earth here, but I haven't been showing you the thing in motion. So that's why I'm showing you this Hebrew cosmos right here. What they call the God of the vault of heaven is opening. We call it Polaris, which is the brightest star in the sky. Or you see, because that's the source. That's the source. Before they was teaching that the sun was in the center, they taught that the Polaris or the pole star was in the middle of the earth. And we know the compasses are pointing to the middle, which is the pole, and is not pointing at the sun. So the compass is backing up what the ancestors are saying. Now, to answer his question, all of the water on earth is within an ethereal barrier. And this is how it looks. We're on the inside of this thing my brother, Info Man. So take a look at this image, right? And let's go back here. Now we're on this middle line right here, walking on the ground. We looking up in the sky, seeing the sun and moon go around a central point. That's what we observe. They don't tell us, they teach us different though. Now, if you look at this image, what this is, by the way, this is an electromagnetic energy field. That's what the earth is. That's why they look the same. The Hebrew was dealing with science. Yeah. So what I'm telling you is what's keeping the elements is in motion. What's stirring up the sky right now? The sun and moon are like ice cubes in a glass of water. And the creator is stirring up the water so the ice cubes is going in a circle too. We call it the sun and moon circling above you. But to make a long story short, we can look, if we're inside of this energy field and we're looking up at the sky being recycled through a central point, and we go to the ocean, and look, guess what we see, Info Man? All of this water in the ocean right here, you see that it's trapped inside of a barrier. So in the middle of our earth is a huge vibrational pole that splits through the physical creation. And surrounding our world on the outside is a vibrational wall. So we got a vibrational pole and a vibrational wall. Now, all of that liquid water that makes up our oceans is right here. You can see it in the image. What's happening is this, Info Man. The waters of the ocean are banking up against the wall, this vibrational barrier behind us, and that wall is pushing the water toward the center. And when it gets to the center, since there's a vibrational pole in the middle one pushes it back out. Now, when you go to the ocean, ain't that's what you see the water doing, going in and out, in and out? That wouldn't be possible on a globe. This is a you talk about what, see, the ocean is constantly making waves. What are you looking at? If you can look at the entire earth from a top-down view, Info Man, it'll look like this serpent creature right here. It'll look like a ripple effect. What's making all of these ocean waves is the fact that when you look at this image, Info Man, let me show you another one, because
and that ripple effect is similar to that Tesla the image that you showed earlier in the show where you had the wire around that. Okay.
There you go. See, because Info Man, this is called a Mercator's map. Mercator was one of the most famous map makers and trusted map makers of his time. He wouldn't make a map and it was bull crap because it'll put his reputation on the line. So Mercator made this map and people actually used this to navigate to the North Pole during the time before we had government telling us where we can and can't go. That's the true story of the space program, controlling one space, keeping you in one space. They don't want you traveling the ethers and going outside of the body and exploring what's beyond. It's a space program to trap you in a little blue ball in your mind to stop you thinking. But let me get back on track. Okay. If we zoom out of the earth, and let me just show you how far out this go real quick. Now, if the brother asked a good question, a lot of people want to know that, and if I don't be thorough, it can be confusing. So here's something called a flat earth ring map. Now look, just like you see all of these different worlds making a ripple effect, Info Man, all of the water in the ocean makes the same pattern, because the invisible energy that is like a skeleton to the physical visible world shapes like a ripple effect. So the physical world gonna shape like a ripple effect. Just like if I got a fat man in my house, but he invisible, and I throw a sheet on top of him, then the sheet gonna look like the fat man, you know? So the energy that powers the world is invisible, but when it's clothed with the physical elements, the physical creation start to resemble the vibration, which is a ripple effect. That's what we're looking at now. So likewise, this is a code of as above, so below. All of the water in the ocean create waves as well. And these waves that the ocean create go outward from this center pole. So the oceans are, the waves that you see in the ocean are made from a literal vibration that's happening at the North Pole. And this is an image of it. So right here on this Mercator's map is a close-up view of the North Pole. And this black mountain right here is a vibrational vortex, or what many call a black hole. And it's sucking in used elements and spitting out new ones again. But
and Brother Sanchez, that is happening right now as we speak right now. This is an occurrence that the earth engages in every single day, every hour, every second.
Yep.
Damn.
In real time. And the thing about it is this. Without this recycling, the earth will fill up with carbon monoxide. What replaces the carbon monoxide you exhale? The fact that nature is constantly recycling the elements in real time, like we just said, and here is the image of it now. They want to tell you that we having too much carbon emissions because you believe in the globe, but we ain't having too much carbon emissions. Nature is so perfectly built that everything is being recycled. And they're going to start charging you for carbon tax in a minute. And they hold on, guys.
All right. It's okay, brother.
So many.
Once again, go. Do you need to check the door? Okay. A little bit of music break there. A little bit of a music break, folks.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Information Man
Tell
Show.
the truth. Tell the truth.
Do you want truth?
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
If you don't want truth, this is not the channel for you.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Tell the truth.
Yes. Truth.
Tell the truth. Tell
We
the truth.
good, info man.
In the White House. I'm not gonna say his name.
Brother Sanchez is back now. Let's continue the presentation. And no problem, brother. I understand. You know, I can have someone knocking at my door. You know, anything can happen when we get involved, when we get in these sort of, when we're doing what we're doing. But continue where you were, brother. Let me take the thumbnail off the screen there.
Okay.
And everybody, let me say peace to Be the Difference Clothing. I love that sister that's in the chat room right now. Check out her channel too. She's very positive. Very positive. If all of you in the chat room are content creators, take some paper, write people's names down so that you can go back into the search engine and find people's channels, because YouTube played a little game with us now. We can no longer click the avatars right quick and subscribe. So go ahead and take the time, get our sisters some love, give each other all the love as much. And I want to say peace again to everybody in the chat room. I can't say, if I haven't said everybody's name, I apologize. I'm too focused on what Brother Sanchez is talking about, as you should as well. So, Brother Sanchez, let's go from here. Let's go.
So we're taught with the now. I basically just went over tides, okay, and we're taught with the globe Earth that the moon controls the tides, and the moon is responsible for the way the ocean water behave. Well, the question would be, if the moon is strong enough to cause ocean tides, why isn't the moon strong enough to cause tides in my cup when I'm at the ocean? Because I go to the ocean, I pour up a cup of water, and the water in my cup don't act like the ocean water, even though my cup is beneath the moon too. The moon seem to be selective because my swimming pool don't have tides either. Now, what is it about the moon that make it so selective on what it chooses to affect? You see, that don't make no sense. Right there, I just debunked tides on the globe, and I'm proving that it make more sense on this model here, which is flat Earth. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, info man. What we call the Earth here is a solid rock. They told you that we got 7 continents. That's a lie. There's only one big rock. If you take up all the water from the ocean you will see that it's one big chunk of rock, man. The ocean floor bed connects all the continents. If you take all the water out the ocean, you can walk from continent to continent using the ocean floor bed. It ain't big islands floating. Now, I'm gonna prove that the foundations of the earth that we see in this image are real. If you look at the ocean water that's surrounding this huge rock, my brother, you will notice that that water is touching the outer barrier and the middle pole, like I just explained.
Well, we'll stop right there. Uncle Franks is saying that, are you trying to say that the moon does not affect tides?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm proving the shit.
Okay.
Because
well, that's just a question. That's just a question he had in the chat room.
Yeah, because you look at a puddle of water on the ground, why that don't got tides? I mean, if the moon can control all that ocean water, man, that's a lot of water. Why can't it control a goddamn soda?
So for example, if I go outside to the park and I have some water, if I go outside to the park and have a glass of water in a glass and I walk around in the park, whether it be at night or daytime, you can make the argument that the moon should be able to have an impact on the water in my glass, right? Just like it does the sea.
Unless you see what I'm saying? Like, think about it, right? Think about, they said gravity is a force, and that force is what the moon is using to cause the tides, the gravitational pull of the moon. Now let's examine other forces in nature, like wind, fire. Now, guess what, my brother Info Man? What we find out is that the forces of nature don't discriminate. If you're a little bitty baby and you standing in the wind, it's gonna blow you over just like that grown man. If you're a little bitty newborn baby and that fire burns you, it's gonna kill you just like it would a grown man. The forces of nature do not discriminate. They act the same on everything. They equal. That fire burn me, it'll burn you, Info Man. These forces are fair. Now, why do the moon pull on certain water but not the others? It's biased as hell. Like it seems to, like, gravity is the only force that seems to have a consciousness like me. Like, I know I like certain body style of women, but not the other ones. Like, you may say I like slim chicks, not fat ones. Why the moon seem to only like ocean water? She don't like swimming pools, and she ain't gonna touch them. So now you got a force acting selective, which is unheard of.
Okay. Well, let's do this, brother, with the time that we have left. If go ahead.
I know this being long-winded, but I
want you to explain that, because look, some people that are listening, some people are going to agree with what you're saying. Some people are going to disagree. Some people have a difference of opinion, and I get that. This is not about trying to indoctrinate anybody. It's just that Brother Sanchez is giving a point of view, or he's using science to explain some of the things that maybe has never really been explained to us in the way that we think that, in the way that we see it, our concept. I mean, there is a lot of things in the society that we believe is real, and then we find out later on that what we thought was reality was not true. Hell, there's still species in the ocean and on this planet that they haven't even discovered yet. Okay, that they think that they got everything figured out, and the fact of the matter is we do not have everything figured out. Brother Sanchez, you have anything else you want to add to this part of the topic before we move into another topic with the time that we both have left?
I'm gonna wrap it up with this, right? If you look at this image, the ground we walk on is foundated to the foundations of the earth, just like we see here. But all of the ocean water is not foundated. All of that ocean water is around that rock, and it's directly touching the firmament and the North Pole. That's why the ocean water has tides, but my swimming pool don't. It's because my swimming pool is on this solid rock, and this earth is immovable. The reason the ocean water is moving because it's not mounted to the earth. The earth is mounted and foundated immovable. So all the water, like in your backyard or all the on land lakes, Them don't have tides because we're unmovable. The rock we live on is foundated, but the ocean water have tides because it's not attached to this rock. Now, what I'm explaining makes more sense than a globe Earth, because then the moon will have to have tides on my cup too, but it don't. I'm explaining why my cup don't have tides, because we're on a rock that's foundated. Now, one thing I want to say is I'm going to wrap this up so we can move on. So the constant flow of the water here on Earth is because of this image here, my brother. That the motion is always there, but you don't have an opening on a globe to allow things to recycle, so they can trick you like resources are being scarce. That's blasphemous info, man. The fact that they think about taxing us for carbon taxes. They saying because we got rid of the knowledge I'm teaching, they can make you pay for it. Meaning that since you don't know there's a North Pole that cleans the air in real time, they can convince you that nature is so dumb, she didn't make enough oxygen. So now we got to carbon tax everybody because if we keep breathing and we filling up this globe with carbon and ain't nowhere for it to go because they took away the North Pole from the cosmology. When we know that this air going somewhere to be recycled and future generations going to be here breathing it. They scaring us though, to milk us. We paying for our ignorance, basically.
Right. And I remember Al, if I'm not mistaken, Al Gore, since he has been in public life or what have you, he was one of the main ones amongst many other that were pushing this whole carbon tax. I think how many have people forgotten that? Al Gore, this is why what he's saying is the truth. You had Al Gore pushing that and many other politicians out there who are pushing that. Any way that they can get more money out of us. Brother, let's get into this area right here as briefly as you can talk about it. We got the third eye, the pineal gland there. We talk about dark matter and what dark matter is, that the universe get created by dark matter. Then you have some that talk about the third and the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension. Some call the fifth dimension the God realm. But tell us from your knowledge, what is the importance of the third eye in terms of how it operates in our body, especially with the fact that that's an area of the pineal gland where we have the most melanin, especially if you're a very dark person, high pigment. Some people say that that's the dream state, that the melanin in that part of your body helps your dream state, because melanin is in your ear, it's in your eyes, it's in everything in this universe. And some say if you don't understand the science of melanin, you won't understand any science. Therefore, so what is your thought in this area? We see this in Egyptian texts and all that.
Okay, so before I get into that, let me close out these tabs. Earlier,
take your time.
Earlier, the brother brought up the sun in relation to flat Earth.
Oh, okay, you want to finish that? You want to finish that up? You want to finish that?
Well, it's only going to take 20 seconds, and I'm going to get right on the pine.
Go ahead, brother.
So if you take a quarter and put it on the table and slide it away from you, you'll see what happened to the sun above a flat Earth. All right? It's disappearing from the bottom up. That's how we examine the sun, guys. Look in the sky now. What you're looking at is not curvature. It's called convergence or vanishing point. That's why the sun gets smaller as it get close to the horizon, because it's going away from you. And it's the same reason why railroad tracks get smaller. All right. So now I'm going to just change. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Now, let me answer your question real quick.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, we need to realize that melanin is pseudoscience. There's no such thing as melanin.
All right.
There's a such thing as melody.
Melody. So let me get this right. Melanin is the pseudoscience, but melody is the reality.
I can prove it to you right now.
Go right ahead.
When you
I believe I have a copy of that on the screen too. I have, let me see. I think this is similar to what you were putting up on the screen.
Well, I can't really see what you're sharing.
Oh, shit. That's okay. Go right ahead, brother. Go ahead and share away.
Okay, well, look. Why I say melanin is pseudoscience and it's melody is for this reason. melody. Now, I'm going to prove it to you with this, though. Everyone who's been studying what we call melanin, like me, one of the most fundamental things we learn about melanin is that your melanin makes up your uniqueness. Your melanin gives you your uniqueness. We say that also one of the most important things I want you to take from this, we say melanin is secreted from the pineal gland, which is the middle of the brain. But we also say this, and this is the most important thing about melanin you need to realize. We say melanin is a vibrational substance. Whoever heard that before? Whoever was taught that? Were you taught that?
Well, I personally have never heard that notion.
You ever heard of?
Well, wait a minute. Let me correct myself. Yeah, I heard. Yeah. You know what? Wait a minute. This is what I was taught. That melanin almost it operates like a plant, photosynthesis. It takes in positive energy and negative energies. So the old saying is that when you walk into a room and something doesn't feel right, you're saying your seventh sense or something is tingling. Some would say that the melanin is absorbing things around you and it takes in the negative and the positive energy. So when you don't feel right somewhere, that's your melanin telling you that something's not right, like a spider sense, using a comic book term.
Well,
that's what I've been told. That's what I've heard.
Right, but what you're saying is more on the lines of intuition.
Okay.
Now, what I've learned about melanin, if anybody come from like the awakening communities and all these different Kundalini communities, I come from a lot of those. We say that we have to unlock and activate our pineal gland, correct, my brother?
Right.
We also say we got to unlock and activate our melanin, correct, my brother?
Right. And some say you need to sun gaze and things of that nature to open the pineal gland. That's what some say. That's what some say.
Now, let me just get into this, though, because what I'm trying to do is show how melanin is melody. So when you talk, what do we say when we talk about unlocking our Kundalini, unlocking our melanin, activating our Kundalini, activating our DNA, activating our melanin, activating our pineal gland? We also call that raising your vibration, correct?
Raising vibrations, or would some say it's opening up your chakras too?
Well, that's all raising your vibration. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is showing you how melanin is simply vibrational frequency. And anybody that studies melanin in depth like me will tell you that is a perfect way to sum up what it is. It's one's individual vibrational frequency, but they calling it melanin today instead of melody, because melody is vibrational frequency. Every human is a song, a rhythm. Your heartbeat ain't the same as mine. Your melanin determines your quality of life, is what we was taught as well. Now, what really determines your quality of life? Your ability to make sound actions, your ability to make good decisions is what determines your life experience. And that is all tapping into and getting to know who you are. Now, listen, my brother, they say that melanin is a vibrational frequency and it originates in the middle of the brain. Look at this image, though. This is a vibrational energy field around your body that's coming from the pineal gland or the crown chakra. What they're calling melanin, the ancestors called your melody. And the ancestors would say you need to activate your melody. And to do that, it's because you playing somebody else's song. If you ain't yourself, your spiritual cadence is that of Beyonce or whoever you mimicking. So that's like every human is their own song, but when you're not yourself, you playing the tunes to someone else's music. So to activate your melody or your melanin, your vibrational frequency, your essence, this is the true knowledge of self that I'm giving you. You see, all of the ancestors' knowledge was about you learning who you are. You came here to explore yourself because we're made in the image of the creator. And the only reason the creator created this thing was to explore itself. So by you exploring yourself, you manifest the will of the creator, which is for it ultimately to explore itself. Because the more you learn about yourself, the more you learn about the source. And the source is having this learning experience through you. So let me say this as well, right? So melanin is melody. And when they talk about melanated people, they say we all come from black people. But let me just show y'all something real quick. The word people is a derivation of the word pupil. My peoples are my pupils. Now, the word people, excuse me, I'm sorry. The word people is related to the word peep hole. Remember, listen.
People related to the word peep hole.
The term peephole. Now, this is based upon the ancient spirituality that says that every human is a gateway into another world. Now, check how deep this is. Your pupil is your peephole. If you look at the eye, what we're calling the pupil is a black hole in the middle of the eye, just like there's a black hole in the middle of the earth. That's why I keep showing you this. It looks like your iris. If you look at the human eye, all of those little veins that make your eye, whether it's blue, green, or brown, let me just pull up an eye. You're gonna have to give me a minute to teach you, brother.
While you're doing that, let me talk to folks in the chat room because we got a lot going on in the chat room. Some people disagreeing, some people agreeing. And you know what? I don't have any problem with folks agreeing or disagreeing. We all have our own minds, our own experiences, our own teaching. This is all about trying to understand what's really going on around us. It is sometimes hard to hear a different point of view from that which you've been taught yourself. People do the same thing in religion. So let's just keep that in mind as people are having their difference of opinions in the chat room. Let's be respectful, everybody. It's okay for you to have your different opinion or disagree, but let's be as respectful as we can in the chat room. Just go ahead and do that. I mean, people are going to be globalists and people are going to be flat earth. That's just the reality. And I get that. So just respect each other. We're going to try to get into another topic before we end the program today. This has been, I have to say, Brother Sanchez, this topic, it has been one in the chat room that's been polarizing for people because, it's bringing out emotions.
I don't know why. I don't know why we just can't learn ancient cosmology. It ain't like I'm making shit up. Don't give me that. Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to say in a nutshell, because we have not been, we weren't raised off of ancient cosmology, brother. We were raised off of George Washington, Lincoln. We've been slaves for over 400 years. Colonel Sam. Go ahead, brother.
Well, let me say this real quick. Info man, for me to discover everything I'm giving you now, people call me the Black Indiana Jones because I went through the ancient scripts and texts and I tapped back into their perception of Earth dealing with ancient cosmology. Other scholars try to decipher ancient stuff while using modern cosmology, and that's why they can't unlock the secrets that I'm unlocking. What I want to say, to do what I'm doing takes a lot of time, effort, tedious research, hours. I'm staying up watching the sun come up just to unlock all of this stuff. And guess what? It's so easy to just say I don't agree. Like the people in the chat room that's saying anything negative about my research, that's the easy part. You doing the research I'm doing is the hard part. That's why the people that's saying all the negative stuff, when they go to talking, they can't tell none of us nothing that we never heard before. I go to talking and I go to making connections that you never heard before, because it's easy to just disagree with some outside of the box while not bringing nothing new to the table other than the same indoctrination we trying to escape. Y'all part of the problem.
Well, let me say this, and I believe in saying things, and I want to tell everybody in the chat room, don't take this wrong, but you may take it wrong what I'm going to say. This is part of the cultural conditioning, Brother Sanchez, and I know you don't get into the whole race thing, but I got to say this, brother. It seems to me that sometimes our people, sometimes, and I don't want anybody in the chat to take this personal, I'm just saying this in general, sometimes it's hard for us to take information and knowledge and information that's different from our own people, but yet white people, who a lot of times will say are our enemies, will validate what a white man says about science and various things. And sometimes we will criticize that same information that's given to us by our own kind. And I've seen that. I've seen that in school, brother, where we will marginalize black professors, come to the class late, don't show them the same respect that we show white professors. And we have black people who run around and they will say that, hey, see, I'm validated because the white scientist validates me. And I think in general, we do have a problem with that when we are teaching and talking about science, and sometimes science that does not go along with mainstream thinking. So I just said that, everybody, just to give you some food for thought. You can still believe what you want to believe because you are your own individual. And you have the right to believe what you want to believe. We're just certainly just giving information. That's what my channel's about. I'm going to give you different points of views on this channel. Some that you're going to agree with and some that you don't agree with. Brother Sanchez, continue on, brother.
Okay, thank you. We were talking about people, the word people. And I brought up the word pupil. At the North Pole, the ancestors said there's a cosmic peephole, and you can peep into it, into the multiverse. And what I'm doing now is basic sacred geometry. Did you ever watch that movie called A Platform?
Yeah, I think I seen that a while back. Platform. I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Platform. Yeah, give me a reminder. Sometimes I'm more visual sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt. See, because they're stealing our ancestors' cosmology. And in order,
I saw that. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Sanchez. I've been saying it. I've been thinking that to myself. When we look at sci-fi movies on in the movie theaters and Netflix, a lot of the stuff that they're putting into these movies, even like The Matrix, they're taking that from us. That's our shit, and they're packaging it in an entertainment format. And you're looking at shit, and you don't even realize that's our shit.
Yeah, let me show you something real quick. When everybody remember this scene from the platform, right? I'm gonna give them a chance to look at that. When he looked down a hole and he saw all of the different platforms.
Right.
Now remember, that hole is in the middle of the building, right?
Right.
Now check this out, info man. This finna really blow you away. Everything they do in Hollywood is based upon the ancient truth. Now check this out. Look at this image, info man. Now, okay. Info man, let me ask you a question, info man. If I took you to the North Pole, this blue pole in the middle, and I told you to look down that hole, won't you see the same thing this brother see here? Different color worlds intersecting in the middle of it.
Right. It's like it goes on for infinite time, on and on and on.
This is what the ancestors call the cosmic boulevard, where
Cosmic Boulevard. Damn.
And I can even show you a picture of the Polynesian verse. See, and what I'm doing now basically is showing people that when they laugh at me and joke on me, you ain't really doing it to me. You're doing it to the ancestors. I'm not smart enough to come up with all this profound shit, and I'm not creative enough to make it up. So studying the ancestor stuff gave me this. And if it makes you laugh, shame on you. Remember, your enemy been laughing at your ancestors for a long time while stealing the same shit he laughing at, though. But he's stealing it, though. But
and they steal our shit and put it in movies and make us think that they made it up themselves. Yep. Even when you look at the movie The Matrix, it was a black woman who came up with the concept and the writing of The Matrix and got it stolen from her. And you know, the rest is history. They made all that money, and then she had to sue them. And The Matrix ain't nothing but a religious movie with all the special effects around it. Go on, Brother Sanchez.
What I'm doing now, I'm pulling up a Polynesian cosmos.
Okay.
On the left, everybody, is the ancient cosmology of Polynesia. And you can see it's the same thing I've been showing y'all here. I'm going to take the platform shit off now. So right here, you remember my colorful rainbow looking seven heaven picture?
Yeah.
You can keep that in mind.
It looks very similar to the left side. The left side of the white. Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. It's the exact same thing, basically. It's just another way of doing it. And you see in the middle of this is where they get Jack and the beanstalk with the beanstalk that went to heaven. This is Jacob's ladder right here. They get that from the Polynesian cosmology, y'all. Think about it. How can you have a stairway to heaven in space? The stairway would lead to Mars or lead to, the next galaxy. You feel me? This is all based upon the ancient conception. And to the right is Ptolemy's version that y'all under today. You ever wondered why you arguing with me and I'm sitting up here defending our ancestors and you sitting up there defending Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Greek gods? You're defending the Greek gods while I'm up here showing you the ancient truth. And you'll argue with me to go defend Mercury and Mars and Venus, Jupiter. You see?
Let me just say this real quick. I need everybody, if you think what the brother is saying is not true, I need y'all to go out and get the book Stolen Legacies. It shows how the Greeks and the Europeans broke into ancient temples, stole information, stole knowledge to build their societies. They stole from the ancient knowledge. And then what they do is they twisted that knowledge around and made you believe that they were the creators of this knowledge. And they packaged it in a way to pacify you. And that's why we see things the way we do today, because we have been spoon-fed and given knowledge from the Eurocentric point of view. In the way we see science, we see ourselves in the world. Believe it or not, didn't they give you a white, blue-eyed, blonde-eyed Jesus to worship in your churches? Continue on, Brother Sanchez.
Yeah, so just to wrap up the whole etymology with people and pupil and peephole, I just showed you the platform artwork where in the middle there was a peephole where you can look into other platforms. That's what the North Pole is. It's a gateway into the multiverse, people. Now, let me share some with you. The only way to get to these other rings outside of the earth is through the center. To go out, you travel in. That's micro and macro. That's what we're looking at here. That the gateway out of the earth is, and what I'm showing you here is if you look at the human eye, and you look at where is it? Here it go. Hold on.
The human eye is very similar to all those symbols that you just displayed.
Yeah, I'm showing you why they call it a pupil, because it's a peephole as well. It's a way for the soul to see the physical world. The soul is looking at the reality outside through the eyes of the body. That's why it's a peephole for the soul. Just like you can look inside of a house through the door if there's a hole there. The body is the door for the soul to be able to have an experience in the earth. So I'm giving you the etymology of why we say what we say. Now check how deep this finna go. Look at the sacred geometry of the eyeball. Of the eye. It shapes like a football. It's a spear, but this shapes like a football where the lids meet. And then inside of that football, you have a black hole in the middle. Now keep what I just said in mind. Watch this. Watch this. Look at this. See how it's shaped like a football?
Yes,
and
there's a football shape to it.
And it's the green part. The green part only is the football. That's the eye.
Yes.
In the middle of that, you have a black hole called a sacred mountain. That's what I'm saying. All of the magnetic ley lines of the earth are connected to this tree. Those magnetic ley lines that stretch out from the North Pole all the way out across the plain are like the roots of a tree. Think of how tree roots stretch out. But this is a magnetic tree, and its roots, we call them magnetic ley lines. Now check this out, right? All the magnetic ley lines of the earth flows into this sacred mountain of the pyramid according to the ancestors. And look, all of the what you would call light of the outside world flows into the pupil like water going down a drain. What you're looking at, what we call the iris, is you pulling in a light code. If you look at these wiggly little lines right here around the pupil, this is the cosmic code that we see all over the earth, and I'm going to show it to you now. Hold on, my bad.
So you said let's explain this right. You said it's a cosmic code.
It's a code called as above, so below. I'm getting ready to show it to you now.
Okay.
So this is called a plasma ball. Now, what this is another way to look at the Earth cosmos. And I'll show you the Mayan version. Since I teach ancient cosmology, I like to show the ancient version with the new stuff that we're misinterpreting. So here, people ask the Mayan to draw the cosmos, and the Mayan give them this. And you know what Westerners say when they get something like this from the ancients? They say, yeah, those Mayan were so dumb. We asked them to draw the cosmos, and they drew a little tree like this. But guess what the Mayan are showing you with this? The Mayan are showing you the same thing you have here.
Right,
Science.
same symbol, and it's also similar to the other symbol that you showed that had had the spear in the middle of the earth, that rainbow shaped ethos that you showed. Same similar concept to the Tesla example. Same similar. It's all the same, just all different cultures, interpretation to the very same source.
So, and another way to look at it too, when you look at this plasma ball, think of the human eye. See the little strings that's connecting to that center ball? They call it the iris. The iris right here connecting to that center ball. Okay. People, this is such a fractal code that we call ourselves I. I did this, I did that.
I did that.
No matter what your name is, everybody, no matter what your name is, all of us share the same name, which is I. And the reason for that is because I is the true name of the creator. Let me show you something real quick and we can move on. This is a fractal code. You see the sperm around the egg, but then I just show you this. That's your eye. Your eye is built the same way. But look, let me show you something. Your human electromagnetic energy field is where we get the alphabet I from. Now I'm about to teach you something that you need to write down. Check this out. The capital I and the lowercase I can be seen right here in this one image, because this is the construct of creation, the I, the individual, right? Which is one source creator having many experiences through many eyes. So when you look at this whole image right here, Info Man, you in the middle of it, it looked like a reptilian eye. Here go the eyeball, and the human in the middle make your little slit for your reptilian eye. You know why? This is serpent knowledge I'm giving you. Now let me show you how deep this is. There's an alphabet called a capital I. And the reason it looked the way it looked is because the crown chakra and root chakra makes an hourglass. That hourglass is where we get the capital I. That's the soul. Now the lowercase I is the lower God, the body, which is inside of it. And you see that the body shapes like a lowercase I. But it don't stop there, right? Let me show you how deep it is. Everything is a code of vibration. If you drop a rock into a river, you can see a human emerge. Who see the human with the head down there and his shoulders right there? You see, this may sound crazy to y'all, right? But in this ripple effect, you can see the shape of a human body. And what am I proving? That the human is a vibrational code that impacts with the physical elements, and it don't know how to be nothing else but head, arms, legs, and that's the construct. So if you place certain frequencies on a table, a black table with sand, the sand would turn into different natural shapes like snowflakes and etc. And it'll never, and depending on the frequency you play, it determines the shape of the sand. So the human is a frequency seed. The human is, I'm a coin a word, a frequential seed. What we call a human is a vibrational frequency. And once that vibrational frequency clothes itself in the physical elements, it's going to always shape like this thing with a big head, some shoulders, and what we see in this ripple effect. We can't escape the code of what makes us us. You're a ripple effect. That's why I keep showing this image, info man. These are the chakra layers. The human is in the middle, and each one of these layers is an ethereal body around you. So in the middle is the physical human, and surrounding him is the spiritual vibration. Now check this image out. In the middle is a drip of water that looks just like a human, and around that human shape is the vibration that impacted the water. When you landed onto the earth, you made an impact, and that vibration started.
Okay, we're having a little bit of technical. Oh, here we go.
You was like, here. What happened?
I think it froze for about a minute, but let me ask you this question: does that fall into the you know when they always say that we're mind, body, and spirit? That does that fall into the concept that you're talking here? Because you need all three. You need all those elements to be. Go ahead, brother.
Can you ask them what did we cut off at so I can?
What happened is it froze for about 1 minute, 1 second or 2 seconds when you were talking about the pool of water here being a human body. You were getting into those concepts there. You were only froze for like a couple of seconds, and then you came right back in.
So yeah, and basically I'm using this ripple effect because it's one of the most simplest explanations of vibration in nature, and the ancestors would have used the same thing. And if you look at this ripple effect, this is the knowledge of the witches. That's why it's shaped like a witch hat. It's shaped just like a witch hat. So this is why you get the Santa Claus hat with the triangle with the little dot on the tip of it. It's from a ripple effect. You see what I'm saying? So this is a lowercase I right here. This is a lowercase I, you, the individual. That's why it's shaped like a human. And that's why I'm showing you this little drip of water isn't a random shape. It's a code. That's what I'm telling you. Nothing is random. Not the human. They're telling you that the shape of the human come from a big bang, a random mishap, and we get all of these different frequencies and shapes and uniqueness. You can't get that from randomness. Now check this out. Surrounding this human is the vibration, and that's what I was pointing out with this. Surrounding you is your vibration. Now I'm gonna move on from that because you asked me about the mind, body, and spirit. And the reason they say mind, body, and spirit and not mind, body, and soul is because if you look at this image, the mind is the soul.
Okay, let me wrap my head around it. So the mind is the soul, not the physical body, which is why in my opinion, we should get out of the concept of when you're no longer here in the physical body on this planet, that you're somehow gone forever. At least that's my point of view about that. I think that go ahead. The mind is the soul, not the body, but the mind is the soul.
Yes. So surrounding the body right here, this energy field, that would be what scientists is calling the mind. That's what's been casted out from the pineal gland. Now, when you cut the head open, there isn't a literal gland that you can. What they're referring to as the pineal gland is an empty chamber, but it's not empty. Now, if I cut your brain open, you will see an opening in the middle of it. They call that the seat of the soul. They don't have any kind of equipment that will allow us to detect mind. So when they cut your brain open, so when they cut your head open, they can see your brain, but they can't see your mind. Where your mind is, they say, hey, it's just an empty chamber. No, it's not. If you had some type of equipment that can detect mind and detect mind power, which is the strongest power on earth, you will see a huge amount of energy coming from that spot in the hospital where they said your pineal gland is supposed to be. But there's nothing there when they cut the head open. So it's a chamber that's housing an invisible vortex. That's the mind that's talking to the brain. The brain is physical hardware that's processing invisible thoughts from the soul. In other words, your soul is telling the body what to do for me, why I came here. The same energy that powers your body gave your body the orders on how to use the energy for it. So the energy that's powering your body right now also have a purpose for giving your body that energy, instead of you using your good energy to go twerk and be a janitor or police. No, you're not manifesting the will of your soul. So you're a slave manifesting a rich man's will. See what I'm telling you now, you start to listen to the voice within you and you become who you should have been, who you always were, and not another impersonation of Beyonce or Young Jeezy. You be the self. You see what I'm saying? So when you get in tune with that voice in your mind that you be talking to, when you be going back and forth thinking, that voice is the mind around the body. That's right here. And let me show you how deep it is. It's what the ancestors call the macrocosmic brain.
Macrocosmic brain.
Macro and micro. This is the
macro and micro.
I'm going to show you the difference, right? Here's the microcosmic brain, meaning the brain that governs this little physical reality of ours. This is associated with the human body, right? This is your micro brain. The macro brain is actually what we're calling the soul around the body. And if you look at the brain here, the biological brain or the micro brain, if you look at this image, and if you look at this image, what I'm calling the macro brain, they look just the same, just one bigger. You got more than one brain. So you can think with your brain, which I wouldn't recommend, or you can think with your soul. That's called being intuitive. To be intuitive is to think with this macro brain around the body. That means to be quiet and listen to the voice within and let that direct you. That's the same voice that when you about to do something wrong, you get that feeling. That's the voice that'll guide us. We don't listen to that voice no more. We go by biblical commandments. Thou shalt not kill, but you can only kill if you killing for God, because God had an army where he'll let you kill, but you can only kill for his benefit. All right. So that's what I'm saying. In us, we know we shouldn't go to war and blow each other up. But what do we do before war? We pray to a God that make it okay. And we ignore the little voice inside of us that say, hey, maybe I shouldn't press this button and drop this bomb on them children and women. We ignore that because we going from a different receptor now. We getting the orders from another being other than the self. And all of the karma that you do, that's bad karma based upon you ignoring the voice within, you got to pay for that karma. The universe ain't gonna let you say, well, I was doing it for my country and I was just doing it for, nope, that's bad karma. I don't care what you was doing it for. The universe don't understand flags and nations. So now let me say this right here. Only thing the universe understands is negative actions and positive actions. And you can't have an excuse for the negative action. Well, I was serving my country. Nope, it don't deal with that. Now, what I'm saying is this right here, to wrap the peephole and people thing up. At the middle of this vortex is a black hole. That's because inside of your brain is a black hole called a pineal gland. You're the black hole in the middle of your own cosmos right here. This is how divine we are as humans. So this also gives evidence toward a simulated reality too, which is what flat earth is, if you just now catching up with that. So this hole at the top of your head is a black hole, and it's sucking in light. That's the crown chakra. What makes the crown chakra shine is not that it's made of light. It's that the crown is a black hole sucking in so much light. It looked like a crown around your head. Light can't escape a black hole. And if you want to see light being sucked into a magnet, I can show you that right now, and you will see
let's
that.
go. Yeah, let's see that. Interesting. Let me say peace to everybody in the chat room right now. We got Chris Wade in there. Balanced Truth is in the house. Omar Little. Peace to everybody that's come in. B Vibe is in the house. And back to the basics. Everybody that is still hanging out in the chat. Thank you, Lady Leg 75. Back to the basics. Let's see, Michael. You know, brother, one of the individuals in the chat room, I think by the name of Michael Action. He's basically saying that, well, you're using different examples of different cultures to make your point, but you're not explaining what is their religious ideology. And he's making a reference that you don't yourself, or you yourself are not big on religion. But my thing is like this. You don't need to necessarily be a person that's necessarily religious to be able to point out facts of history, facts of knowledge, because even though all these cultures might have had different religions, they all operate in similar ways in terms of their symbolism. Because,
Well, look,
go ahead, brother.
The problem, none of these cultures I'm showing had different religions.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected then.
Yeah, it's the fact that all of the cultures that I'm showing weren't religious people. They were spiritual people. So to be connected to doctrines make you religious. To be connected with nature makes you spiritual. Everything I'm showing you is about all the images I'm showing is nature. I'm showing you the sun, the moon, the earth. I'm talking about the elements. This is me connecting with nature. Now, if I was a Christian, I'd pull out a Bible. You wouldn't see none of these slides. I'll just say, go to this scripture. Go. That's indoctrination. That's religion. I don't deal with that. All right. What I'm telling you is that the reason I can make the connections that I'm making is because there's only one true spiritual system, and that's the natural order of the universe. And the ancestors were in tune with that. And when you get in tune with it, you will pick up the patterns and parallels that I'm picking up and realize what I'm saying. Now, what I'm looking at right now is here is your light being sucked into a black hole, my brother. So what you're looking at is something called a ferrocell, and it has LED lights all around the edge. And it also have a patented fluid in it that would allow you to see this light pattern the way you see it. And what happens? What happens is this. They put a magnet in the middle and they cut the lights on. And what you see is when they cut the LED lights on the edge, the light can't escape the black hole or the magnet in the middle. So it bends into the black hole and gets sucked in. And that's how we get the flower of life, guys. The flower of life is literally a flower of light. It's a flower made out of light. And light will make the pattern of a flower when it's mimicking an electromagnetic energy field. See, you can't see an electromagnetic energy field like you can't see an invisible man. How do I see the invisible man? I cover him. See, the science work in reverse when you deal with.
Let me say something. Michael Actions, you made a statement where you were questioning Brother Sanchez whether he was religious or not. And you stated that he was using various different cultures to be able to make his point with the symbols that he used. And you did say something about that he did not explain what their religions were. Now, you did say that. Now, I may not have I may not have quoted you word verbatim, but that was the nature of your question. God damn it. Now, we've been very professional up here and very polite. And I understand that people have different views in the chat room, and that's okay. I've got no problem with that. But don't come up here saying that you feel misquoted because the brother might have put a sting to your argument. God damn it. Don't play around with me up here. God damn it.
God damn. Hey, I had to stop screen sharing with that. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all better cut that part out. Because what you just got was classic Sunday Rumble info, man. Y'all don't want to bring that out now. I'm telling you right now, That made my day right there, because I ain't saw Info Man turn up like that since the Rumbles, yo. And I'm telling you right there, that's why them Rumbles was so fire, man. These kind of personalities. But you see, it was warranted though. The brother been cool the whole show, and you come with that crazy shit, he turn up on you. That salutes to that, man. Let me go back to my screen share. That's
Okay.
shit up right there.
Yeah, go back to the screen share. And I'm going to say it again. Everybody has the right to their own beliefs. I'm not coming down on you, but with the brother, go ahead with the presentation, brother.
Okay. So what we're looking at now is the flower of light. Like I said, you can't see an electromagnetic energy field like you can't see an invisible man. How do you see an invisible man? You cover them. Now, if I ask you how to see a physical man, you uncover him. If he's hidden, you can't see him, you uncover. But to see the invisible man, you actually cover him. To see the soul, you cover it with flesh.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see Info Man's soul, but I can see his soul's avatar. That's the only way you can see soul is through flesh. And the only way you can see an electromagnetic energy field, which is your soul, is through the body. And the light represents the physical creation. Let there be light. So you can actually see the invisible energy field now because it's clothed in light, just like I can see the invisible man when I throw the sheet on him. Now, here's the thing. They call this the flower of life, and but it's really the flower of light, right? Light and life are the same thing. Life is light. Think about this, Info Man.
Okay.
Sperm is light.
That's true. Wait a minute. What's going on, Huey P. Newsom? Hey, that is true. It is light. I've heard you talk about that, but I was aware of that even prior before hearing you talk about that and other people. You're absolutely right. It's am I right or wrong? It's light because it's energy.
Yep.
It is an energy form. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, it's some scientists that literally call sperm the liquid form of light.
God damn.
So what happens is the mother's egg is a black hole and the sperm is the light. Now, don't that make sense? Light coming from the darkness, light entering the darkness. And that's what we're seeing here. Each of these little around this lens, right, are little dots of light like the sperms. And each of these little lines of light can't escape the center, so they're being magnetically attracted to this center spot. This is the same science of how all the sperm, which is the light force of the daddy, and the female is the darkness force, or the yin and the yang. So we see the sperm, which is the light, being sucked into the egg, which is the darkness. This is the principles of electromagnetism. And I can show you the science right here in the Pharaoh cell.
Now, there's a sister, I think her name is Nasha Q, I think Q. She says that it's coded. Well, we use the term melanin. You said it's melody. She said it's coded. That's the area where you had the sperm. If that's correct, sister, if I'm wrong, just correct me. I don't want to misquote you. But she said that's coded in melanin. Does that jive with some of your research?
People think melanin is a liquid. That's just like saying I'm gonna go drink a song. Now that was deep. That just went over a lot of people's head. I'm gonna say it one more time. People think melanin is a liquid substance. If you think that, then I can drink a song. Melanin is vibration.
It's vibration. It's vibrations.
If melanin was a liquid substance, you would be able to buy 3 liters of it in the store by now.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this real quick. If melanin is a vibration, then when I was saying earlier, if it's a vibration, wouldn't that allow you, depending on the amount, the high levels that you have, they say the darker you are, the more you have in terms of your pigment, wouldn't it make you more sensitive to things around you in your environment if it's a vibration? Just that thought.
People with a strong vibration are more in tune and do experience life in a more quality way. This has nothing to do with races, though. Some of the people with the highest vibrations on the earth today are the monks up there in Tibet. They ain't black. Some of them can literally levitate.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I've seen videos where you had African shamans, brothers in the continent, that believed in these ancient principles, and they were able to move themselves off ground, levitate themselves. Let me just say that.
So what I'm saying is, my brother, is that spirituality ain't got a hierarchical structure that's based upon the color of your skin. Mother Nature is a conscious. Let me cut my camera on, and I'll come back to the concept of everybody coming from black people, because that's the reason why I brought up peephole and pupil in the first place. Let me turn my screen share off a minute to say something. Mother Nature is a conscious being, and she don't give a damn what color you are. She cares about what every other woman care about. How much time you spending with me? Nature don't care if you black, white, yellow, or pink. If that yellow man spending more time in nature and connected with nature more than the black man, he's gonna be more spiritual than you. Nature don't discriminate on skin color based upon her relationship with herself, which is you and me.
So for black people, it's not a matter of us just waking up in our beautiful black bodies and just saying, I'm charged with the universe. We have to do what? Just like we do with God. Well, the universe is God. We have to worship the universe, that universal God. We have to engage ourselves in nature, engage ourselves with the universe that we live in to empower that which is inside of us. It's not a matter of just jumping out of your bed and putting your Nikes on.
I'm gonna make a prime example. Our enemy goes out and study nature every day so he can figure out how to terraform it.
Right, because they've been trying to figure out, I was going to ask you this question too. They've been trying to figure out how they can control dark matter. They're doing research. They want to be able to control it like they can put it in a bottle or some shit. Very dangerous, but go ahead, brother.
Dark matter is just like melanin. It's a modern word that they use to replace the word ethereal matter.
Ethereal matter.
In the ancient world, what they're calling dark matter was called ethereal matter. The reason you call it dark matter today is because you can't mention the ether with space. I'm going to tell you why. The ether is a spiritual substance that fills all spaces. This is what the ancestors said about the ether. They say it's a space filler. In other words, the ancestors said there's no emptiness in the universe because ether is always present. Now check how deep this is. When they got rid of the concept of ether and flat earth, they created space by default. Once you remove the ether or the waters of Nu that the physical creation sit within, you now created space. And now check this out, right? You can't have ether and space because ether is that which fills all spaces. The ancestors said one drip of ethereal substance will fill an infinite amount of space with one drip. This is the nature of ether. Now, when you think about dark matter, what do they teach you about dark matter? They tell you that dark matter fills in the gaps in space. They're copying, man. They're copying. Let me show you how deep it is. Watch this. I'm going to screen share again. I want you to actually, let me take some of this stuff off too, because I got a bunch of stuff open here.
Okay, let me
all right.
Let me okay. Do your thing.
Okay. And what I want to do is show y'all a picture of dark matter. Now they tell you dark matter is invisible, but they still show you pictures of it. I know I just made some of y'all spit your water out. That is some funny shit. I ain't even making it up. they tell you dark matter is invisible, but then they tell you, oh, it's right there. That's the darkness in space. So if you look at this image right here, this is a good example of dark matter. Dark matter would be everywhere you don't see light, the space in between the stars. Dark matter is said to hold space together, just like the space in between the bricks hold the bricks together is called cement. So now check this out, right? The problem with this is it makes no sense, right? Because you got a what you call it, a contradiction at work right now, my brother. On one hand, you calling it space, which is emptiness. On the other hand, you saying it ain't space because that darkness is matter. Either it's nothing or it's matter. It can't be both. So now they created this word called antimatter. See the problems? You see the can of worms they opened up when they changed the original science?
Matter and antimatter. I've heard a lot of that growing up. Antimatter.
So the thing is this right here, though. Space is a theoretical construct of our cosmos, right? And there's cracks within the theology. The cracks that lies within the fallacy of space is right in front of your eyes. They call it dark matter. Dark matter debunks space, y'all. It's a crack in their foundation, and it literally looks like a crack. Like dark matter debunks space as a theology because it creates a conundrum. What do I mean? How can it be space or emptiness and you're still calling it matter? That's a problem. Either it's space or it's matter. It can't be both. That's why I told you earlier, you can't have the ether with space because the ether is a space filler. But this is what they're trying to do, and they created a contradiction. But now, luckily for them, most of the world don't think as deep as me, so they'll never find that contradiction. And that's what they relying on, your ignorance. So I can go on more about dark matter. But let me just say this for a little joke, and I'm gonna stop screen sharing.
Okay.
Now, this is the heliocentric universe on the screen. Can you see that?
Yes, that's on the screen. We can see it.
Now, this is a teaching joke. Sometime I use humor. You're gonna learn something, but you're gonna laugh too. Now, the thing is this: they told you this universe started as a random mistake. Now, I don't know about you, Info Man. Every time I vomited, I didn't plan for it. It just happened. Like, oh shit. You feel me?
Yes.
That's what this universe is. It's a random pile of vomit. You see that vomit right there? Hold on to your food. Hey, I'm not bullshit, though. They gave you an expanding universe, y'all, that started as a mishap. And it's just like when the vomit hit the ground, when the shit hit the fan, it's spread out. And then you look at this heliocentric cosmos, it ain't nothing but a bunch of vomit, y'all. That's vomit. That's that straight up a mistake, fucking mishap, just like you when you vomit. And they got you to think that's what creation is, a pile of vomit. That's blasphemy. The fact that I can show a fucking pile of vomit on the ground and it looks like your idea of God's kingdom is blasphemous. The fact that I can compare a pile of vomit on the ground to your goddamn cosmology ain't good at all. that ain't good, but hey, that ain't a good look at all. Let me just stop. I just had to give a little humor right there.
Okay. Well, Brother Sanchez, this is what we're gonna do, brother. We've been at this for a while. I know everybody in the chat room has been turned up over the issues that you've talked about today, the sciences, all the different theories and truths. We're gonna definitely have to come back and do this again because all the other things that I wanted to get into with you, we just don't have enough time in the day right now. we're going to have a part 2 of this in some weeks from now, a part 2, so that we can get into other areas that I wanted to explore. One of those areas I want to explore, because I've seen you talk about this, and I'm going to put this on the screen for people to see. You may not be able to see it, but they can, is symbolism. I know you came on my show a week ago talking about the true history behind the Confederate flag, and how the Confederate flag symbols, or the symbolism of the cross on it, the crossing of the lines with the stars, was actually stolen from ancient tribes here in the world that we live in today, that we know as the North America or the United States. So I want to have you come back to get more into those areas of symbolism, dimensions, third, fourth, fifth dimensions, and I want to get more into the metaphysics, astral projection, all kind of different stuff I want to get into. And let me ask this just before we have this, we end here. I had mentioned that what you were saying something about powering our pineal gland, the melody. People have talked about, I used to follow a guy on YouTube who used to tell us we should go out and sun gaze, meditate, and vibrate, because we need the sun to get to empower the pineal gland in the substance of melody in our body. Is there any truth to that as a form of a way of powering that, along with, of course, a proper diet, of course?
That's only a very small percentage of the truth. Sun worship want to get you to think that you only need one aspect of nature to sustain yourself. Mm-hmm. But reality, the correct statement would be, you need the sun, you need the moon, you need the wind, you need the water. You need everything the earth has to offer. Why would you?
All elements.
Right. Like it's stupid to sun gaze and not moon gaze. Like, okay. Think about what I'm saying.
Wait a minute.
Right. You feel me? Like, think about it. Why would I focus on the leaf of a tree instead of acknowledge the whole thing, the trunks, the branches, and everything? Like, to go out in this beautiful reality and only find beauty and strength in the sun makes you an imbalanced, blind person, because I can actually activate a connection with Mother Nature on the darkest day. Even if you took the sun out the sky, I would still be able to connect with the light of the conscious source within me. So what I'm telling you is this: sun worshipers ain't powerful when you put them in a dark room. Think about that. They find power in the sun. And you really find your power in the closet, getting to know yourself. A wise man once said, lock yourself in a room and don't come out till you're satisfied with who you are.
Right. Let me say what's up to Underrated Darkness, Back to the Basics, Bart Code Show. We got Melissa Smith. You need all the elements, is what she said. You're absolutely right. We need all the elements: water, sun, wind, everything, the moon, the skies, the trees, the birds. And another thing, folks, as much as some of us may not like bugs and insects, we need even bugs and insects, okay? God damn it, okay? Don't sleep on the bugs and insects, even though I don't like roaches, but we need them. Look, everything that's on this planet, God put it here for a reason. Even some nasty-ass flies. There's a reason why they're here, for the ecosystem.
Facts. That's facts right here.
Hey, so, brother, what we're going to do, I'm going to end the program, and we're going to, at some point in time, maybe next month or something, we'll try to have a part 2 to this, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that some of the people that were listening to what you were saying, they got what you said. I think there are people that were skeptic, and there were people that were all the way skeptic, and then I think there were some people who probably have never heard of these concepts before, so they're trying to process it and make sense for themselves. And they're saying, because I'm going to tell you something. In America, we are culturally conditioned to what they want us to believe. And I'm going to be honest again. I'm going to say this, and I know people don't like this. When we have a black man up here teaching something, we're a little bit skeptical of him as a black man, because deep down in the surface, as black people, sometimes we really don't like each other. I got to be honest.
Oh, you said.
But the reality is, I wonder if Brother Sanchez was an older white man with a beard, looking like that white man in the Matrix, with a white suit on, looking like Colonel Sanders, and was saying all this stuff to you like the professors that you listened to when you were in school. I wonder if you would be more open to listen, because, well, you know, the white man, they've got the knowledge. You know, that's what I've been culturally conditioned to listen to, is what white people tell me in society. I'm just being honest with y'all.
Yeah. It ain't right if it ain't white. It ain't right if it ain't white. Ain't no little nigga from Alabama with my country voice supposed to be coming up here teaching niggas about etymology and syncretism and sacred geom. I don't even supposed to know how to pronounce them words.
Right.
If it ain't right, it ain't white.
Right. Let me go. Let me get some peace and love to Brother Omar Little, who super chatted me again. He said, "Hey, Brother Sanchez, back in your show ASAP." And brother, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
So, Brother Sanchez, as I put you front and center right now, you have any last word? No, I don't like to say the word last words. Do you have any words that you would like to say to the people as we come to a conclusion of the program today?
Okay, and I'm going to try to make this brief as possible. Globe Earth versus flat Earth. Let's look at the origin of that globe universe. The heliocentric universe started from a big bang, not a plan. Everything we do as humans, we plan it first. Every house that exists had a building plan and a blueprint before it was built. But the universe that they gave you a God that built the house with no building plans. So because of that, he got a plan as he go, and they call that evolution. But with flat Earth, you don't have to evolve a plan as you go, because you open your eyes and realize nature is perfect. It's us that's not perfect. Once we get right, we can see the perfection of nature. And I'm going to leave y'all with that.
All right, Brother Sanchez, let me give you definitely respect and clap there. I appreciate you being on with me, brother. Thank you again.
Anytime, just hit me up. You can make this a regular thing. I'm going to get up out of here so you can shut it down. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, I can't thank you enough. Yeah, we'll try to make this regular, because I think part of the problem, Brother Sanchez, when we do shows like this where it's a lot of information condensed within a period of time, I almost think like it's better to do a show where you focus on one area for the 2 or 3 hours, whatever the time, and then because I think sometimes some people, when you hit them with all this, some people are not able to digest it as we would hope, because they're getting hit with so many different concepts. And for some people, it may be confusing for them if they've never heard this before. But yeah, we're gonna do that, and I appreciate it. I'll see you over in your channel. You going live today, or are you going live tomorrow, brother?
I don't think I'm gonna go live today, but I will be live Sunday and Monday. Yeah, tomorrow and Monday.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be tuning into your program. So everybody, again, that's Brother Sanchez. You can subscribe to his show. It's in the description of this video. Subscribe to his program, everybody. I'm going to say again, I realize to everybody that follows my channel regularly, I realize that you agreed with some concepts, you disagreed. That's okay. You have the right to your opinion. You have the right to your concepts. We don't always have the right to our own facts, though. We have the right to our opinions, but not our own facts. But you have the right to your beliefs, religion, whatever it is. What the brother introduced is a concept that some can get with, some can't get with. But part of my channel is to bring you people who have all different various opinions and thoughts. And that's what information is. You take the information in that the brother said, you do your own research, you quantify it, you back it up with your own research. And then you come to the conclusions based on the research, bringing to what the information is to being that it will be based in facts. However, we grow up in America where we go to high school, we go to college, elementary school, the whole 9 yards. and they teach us a lot of things that is not true. When it comes to black people and our history in this society, they don't always teach us the truth about who we are and what we are and how we connect to the elements that he talked about: wind, fire, the stars, the moon, the sun, the ground, the bugs, the trees, everything, down to the worms, every damn thing. We are a part of the elements of this universe. I am because we are, and we are because I am. Everybody out there, thank you for watching the Information Man Show. If you are new here, please subscribe and share the video. Let me know it before I go. Let me let everybody know where they can find me on other social medias. For example, I do have a second channel. It's called Information Man Speaks Podcast. And that particular channel, I operate that channel like a radio show, podcast radio style. I have people call in. I've been experimenting on some nice things over there, and I think the podcast radio style has been working for me. And then you can also find me on these platforms because my podcast is on other platforms like this.
The Information Man podcast can be heard on 9 major platforms, on the second YouTube channel as well, Information Man Speaks Podcast. Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Castbox, SoundCloud, and finally, Spreaker.
That's my Twitter right there. And I want to say peace to all. Thank you for coming in. And I understand that people had difference of opinions in the chat room. It got a little heated in the chat room. I understand. Look, everybody's welcome back. Even Michael Action, who I did call out. It's okay. Come on back. Watch the channel. Watch the program. I touch on all different topics. I appreciate everybody who was here today. I'm sorry if I wasn't able to call everybody's name out because I definitely wanted to focus on what Brother Sanchez was doing, what he was talking about, that is. I want to thank, let me call out some people. I want to thank Raphael Flat Plan TV. I want to thank, let me see, Kim 808. Thank you for being here, brother. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. We got Balanced Truth. Thank you for being here. Lady Leg 75, thank you for being here. Sister Nasha Q, thank you for being here. We got Darius Matthews, thank you for being here. Back to the Basics, thank you for being here. Ashley, okay, thank you for being here. Uncle Frank, I know that I know there was a lot of discussion in the chat room with you and some of the guests that were there. Brother Uncle Frank, once again, you're always welcome here. You're a moderator on my channel. We're going to have difference of opinion sometime, and that's all right. We've got, let me see who we got here. We got, Brother Real Aaron Collins, I want to thank you for being here as well and participating in today's program as well. And let me go back into the chat room again and call some other folks out here. Who do we have here? We've got Dawn of the Living. Thank you, sister, for being here. We've got Melissa, if I'm saying your name correct. Oops, right there. Melissa Smith. Why would a people who enslaved us tell us the truth? Absolutely right. They would never tell us the truth. Thank you for being here, sister. And once again, subscribe to the channel if you have not. We got Miss Fed X is in the house. Thank you for being here. Thank you, sister. I appreciate that. And we've got, if I can say this name, we got Sunday Sa. I can't say that correctly, but thank you for being here. Ashley is in the house. And who else did I miss? We got the Light Worker TV. Thank you for being here. We've got B Vibes. Thank you for being here, brother. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And we got my man, Brother Sanchez TV. I think I modded you up, brother. You should be modded up on the channel. And I hope so. If not, I'll go back in. I think you should be modded up on the channel. Let's see. And let me see who else I have in here. We have Chris Wade who came through. And a lot of people came in and out. We have Underrated Darkness. A lot of people came in and out. Thank you. Let me get ready to get out of here because first of all, I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. And I need to lay on my butt on the couch for a little bit because we've been at this all day. I enjoyed every minute of the experience today with Brother Sanchez putting it down. Every minute of it I enjoyed. So let me peace to you all. So let me get on out of here, and you all have a great rest of your day or evening or night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you, everybody. Peace. This is the Information Man Show. Peace.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Information Man
Tell
Show.
the truth. Tell the truth.
Do you want truth?
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
If you don't want truth, this is not the channel for you.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Tell the
Yes.
truth.
Truth.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
In the White House. I'm not gonna say his name.
Jack Lake Creatures.
Tell the truth.
If you want truth,
Tell the truth.
the Information Show is the place for you. Truth.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make
We're
sure
trying to examine,
subscribe
open
to
up
this
one's mind and understand the shit that's happening in American society and around the world. Information Man Show.
channel. Information is power.
We got to ring the bell to wake the world up.
Information is
Tell the truth.
power.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Information Man Show.
Tell the truth.
Yes. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
In the White House. I'm not gonna say his name.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
We will make America great again.
You need truth.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
That's right. Truth. This is the Information Man Show.